I'm getting there.
Oh, I think we're live. Hello.
We're live? Hello! Isn't that wonderful? We are live once more, playing a game of Stars of That Number with the crew of the Gloved Molotov, which isn't that just the best thing in the world? Before we begin,
I need a cup.
we have to go and get a cup for Alice, but also I'm going to mention the Stars of That Number Gloved Molotov bingo. Bingo. I feel like I just saw something move in the corner of my camera, and I don't have any animals, so I'm just a bit concerned. Hang on.
It's just that ghost I sent to possess you.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is a brand new house. It shouldn't be haunted. Anyway, so
It is now.
Whose land is it built on?
Yeah, it was built on a burial ground.
swamp, marshland, technically.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
You being haunted by a dead toad.
So, the bingo for Gloved Molotov is basically if you see something that occurs in the course of gameplay that qualifies with one of the bingo boards, you can mark it off, and then if you achieve. Oh, it's the book. Okay. And then if you achieve bingo, the book was closing itself. So if you achieve bingo during the course of play, tell us, and we will have a thing for you, which I think you will enjoy. Yes. So
I'll post the link to bingo in just a moment.
Splendid. Without further ado, I think we are all good to jump on into play.
Okay.
First, though, I think I'm going to mute Facebook because people are going to be like making all kinds of sounds.
I should probably
rather not hear the sounds. Okay. So, when last we left our crew of the Gloved Molotov, an incredibly harrowing surgery had just been completed by Dr. Charles Barker. He was physically and emotionally drained by the experience, but it seems that wasn't all. During the surgery, Darius got kind of familiar with the Pavlakakis organization's mainframe, and with some profound levels of skill was able to do a complete database acquisition of this branch's mainframe.
Mm-hmm.
Which was just amazingly well done. After that happened, the reinforcements arrived, and though the party were quick to attempt to hasten out of the facility, not believing that these reinforcements did not mean them well, they elected to trust the leader of this group that came into the branch, called Commander Lee. She volunteered to disarm herself and accompanied the party back to their ship.
From what I heard.
Which would hopefully allow her to have an actual conversation with them while granting the party the comforts of home. This was successful, and due to kind of and also Catalina had the chance to throw a Molotov, but decided not to. A thing which I think made a very big difference to what happened during the game. So,
but it was there and ready.
So upon the party and Commander Lee coming to like what I call like a shaky but decent accord, in which both parties have blackmailable material on the other party and agree to go on their merry way, and just promise not to tell people the dirty material and just like have it be status quo, which was a pretty good deal. That position would not have been nearly as tenable without Darius's complete database acquisition, which he is now basically holding hostage and has promised to not distribute or profit from it, so long as Commander Lee and her and any colleagues who know of this do not spread any further information about the existence of PIN. After that, After that, Commander Lee agreed to allow the party to remain on Koundouriotis for long enough for their ship to be repaired, and then they would leave as quickly as possible. And during that time, the party are to be reprimanded to the shipyard and aren't allowed to leave. Finally, when Dr. Farr awoke from his stun batoning the night before,
Piece of shit.
there was a very intense exchange between him and Dr. Charles Barker, in which Charles exposed just how much of a disgusting human being he was by making him spell out step by step all the awful things he did in an attempt to acquire him.
That's right. Charles is a disgusting human being.
That's that. You're a piece of shit. Tell me what I want to know.
It was also revealed ultimately that the person responsible for this horrendous chain of dominoes was Rigby Jones of the Suma Hayabusa, who was attempting to profit from his knowledge of the location of an AI, which put Tasi in such serious danger. And Lockie crushed his own compad when he read about that.
You're going to crush his face too.
With that, we are going to jump right back in. I will make one minor amendment, though. The events of the previous session kind of took place in like early morning to midday on the 9th of May, the year 3200, because I feel like you as a group were just considerably fatigued. I think I'm going to like skip ahead to the 10th of May, just so that you guys feel more comfortable that you've rested and aren't in danger of being aggressively fatigued. However, the people in the party who have lost hit points aren't so lucky as to just regain them all back. In this system, if you attempt to regain hit points normally, basically, if you are tended to by a medical physician, then you regain hit points equal to your level per day.
Mm-hmm.
It's normally fine with things like space travel, where you can regain your lost hit points in that lost time. Just know that those of you who have lost health and have potentially gained a considerably larger amount of health, like Lucky, it'll take some time for that pool to fill up to max.
Yeah.
Wait,
All good.
so let me clarify.
Yes.
Am I still on 8 hit points? Because I didn't lose any hit points, but I leveled up and gained hit points.
Then you are on 11 hit points.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I didn't take
I just
any
don't get
damage in the
boosted
last
up.
fight.
You did not know.
Yeah.
To yourself.
We're
My
playing
Voyager
hide and
is,
sneak
as
with
they
people,
say,
that's why.
trashed.
You were terrifying.
It's okay, Tim. I will help you fix it.
So as the sun rises across the beautiful, shining ocean of the planet Koundouriotis and the floating spaceport that you have landed on gently bobs up and down in the waves. It is the 10th of May of the year 3200, and you guys have 4 days left on the planet until ships are repaired. And once the ship is repaired and you can proceed, what would you like to do?
I'm going to buy all of that stuff that I said I was going to buy.
Indeed. So, first thing in the morning, Darius hustles down the ramp of the glove Molotov and swipes over a to-purchase list to the designated shopping individual from Pav.org who's going to be going about and making any purchases that the crew needs during their stay. And he's just buying lots of drone parts.
And weapons.
And weapons. He may not be willing to buy you weapons considering the circumstances, but...
Low-level laser rifle equipment, I can probably not bother, but... You reckon he wouldn't sell it?
I think, given the circumstances of what's happening right now, he'd get you everything except something that could be excessively dangerous. Like, you could potentially buy it buy what you're after on a different planet, but right now you're under, like, you're kind of on thin ice with this planet and this organization as it is.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, I have a spare laser rifle, so I can set up one of the drones. I'm just short one laser rifle, which is fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Okay.
And that also destroyed. It was the void carbine that was destroyed. So cool.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else?
I am going to ask if I can have my pistol back from the medical facility that we're in, because I had to sign that in.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
I wasn't able to go retrieve it before we had to leave.
Good point. Yes. If you did check any gear or equipment, that will be provided to you. Also, Dr. Charles, I will also note that during your negotiations, you requested a list of comprehensive reading material that would enable you to help Tasi be treated during her recovery that you are going to be overseeing. And you are actually awoken to your compat chirping upon having received that information. So, yes, if
study material for the next few days.
Indeed, the main things to take away from this information is that Tasi is definitely going to continue to require 24/7 care, at least for the next week, and will require like regular checkups at least for the next week after that. There is like all of the drugs and equipment that you need to maintain this care is provided if you don't have it already. But there are certain issues that you are warned may arise, and you're given certain techniques to hopefully be able to mitigate these post-op complications from arriving. It's possible that she may end up with moderate to severe nerve damage, reduced functionality in some organs, localized arthritis, loss of fine motor skills.
I see your face, Ash, and it's just like, this at the moment, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm going to, until I've read through everything and figured out treatments for most of the symptoms.
Yeah.
We'll take Loki aside later and explain the consequences of what has happened properly.
There are two more that do occur to you on this list. One is altered personality traits and varying forms of amnesia, depending on the circumstances. So
I see where you're going with this, and I don't like it.
Rory?
Yes?
Catalina was planning on assisting Charles as much as possible with Tasi, especially manning machine that was helping take the nanobites out of her system.
Yes, and yeah.
And those nanobites have gone to me.
Spare parts they have to keep the machine working.
Indeed, they are able to provide equipment, and also Nurse Ying is prepared to remain on the ship with you and provide aid for as long as you are still on planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you at least have time to rest yourself during this first week.
The other thing I wanted to purchase, I want to get. How much do I want to spend on it? How much do I have? Where is my monies? There's my monies. I want to spend another 5,000. Say $5,000 on medical components.
Okay,
use my machine.
Okay, sure thing. You can for sure do that as well. So just mark off the cost of credits you've spent and mark down that you've purchased them for later use.
Okay. I spent $10,000 on stuff too.
Okay.
Rory, I have a question.
Certainly.
How easy is it to get a loan in this universe?
You need to have. I don't actually know.
Okay.
I've never quite had to consider that before. A loan. Well,
I think the answer would be easy enough, but there's consequences that are far worse than the loan itself.
Probably, but that's not what I asked.
Well, considering how loans normally go in real life, you would be able to obtain a loan if you have sufficient good credit and collateral to put down should you default on your loan.
I would guess that it would be localized to each planet, not cluster-wide.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be to sector, maybe.
I think people traveling sectors are less likely to get a loan at all because you can just ditch planet.
This sector does have kind of like a sector spanning organization called the Bottoman Alliance. They are responsible for maintaining widespread telecommunications as well as banking throughout the sector. So it's likely any loan you were to obtain would have to go through them. Then they could more reliably keep track of you and your debt, depending on where you go.
Okay. I'm sure you can guess, Rory, why she wants a loan.
Yes, I can. Is anybody else going to make any immediate purchases?
I don't want to make a purchase, but I want to see if I can try and get in contact with any of my former corporation to see if I can learn the whereabouts of the Hayabusa.
Okay.
Under the guise of, I just want to get in contact with them.
So something that I think you would be aware of as a person who did work on that crew is that all people who are under the employ of the Bayers Mercenary Corp will receive incremental bursts of data sent to their compads that depending on their rank they can access different parts of it. Like if you work as part of if you're just the crew of a ship, then you have a passcode that allows you to access the layout and assignment of your ship. So if you're a new hire, you know what ship to go to and who to work with and where the job is going to be. If you're of higher rank and have to manage multiple ships, then you can access all of their information and coordinate. So you would know at the very least that a person who is currently under the employ of the corporation would be able to know that.
Yeah.
That's okay. Could you roll? What kind of culture skills do you have, Lucky?
Yes.
Okay.
I have none.
Okay.
He's chock full of culture.
I mean, the closest I'd have is culture spacer. I'm on 0.
That is fine. Can you please make me a culture spacer roll to see if you, in your time working for this corporation, made any decent connections with a higher ranking individual who you could attempt to contact?
Possibly.
Exactly. So go ahead and roll.
I just did.
Okay. I'd say you did have a decent encounter with one of the what's a good word for this? Commodores, I'd say. Like a Commodore from one of the fleets of Bayers. The two of you both squared off against each other at a company picnic and this person was quite impressed with your feats of strength. And they exchanged contact information with you in case you were ever interested in doing some work for them, just in case.
It's just like the idea of Lockie at a company picnic.
Me too. it's just like it's the thing that occurred to me. Okay, so yes, you have this person's contact information. I'm just going to bring out my handy dandy roll table and just generate this person's name.
Oh.
The person who you are is from Bayers, which is a Japanese. It's based in a Japanese sector.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. Whoop. This person is. Oh, actually, hang on. It's a guy, and his name is Hiro Fujiwara. So, if you want to contact Commodore Fujiwara, you may.
Yes, I would like to attempt to contact him if he is within contactable reach.
He is not in the solar system, so if you're going to send a message, it'll take time to go there and back.
Yeah, basically the message will just be, hey, I know I'm not part of the group anymore, but I need to get some information. I've got to catch up with the old crew. Do you know their location at the moment?
Okay. What's happening here?
I feel like he would attempt to fluff it up, but Lockie is not really the charismatic type to make a big conversation out of it.
Let's see. Looking to contact old crew. Hoping to know where they are.
Yes.
Okay. You send that message out into space, and considering that planet's base of operation, if is actually only 1 hex away, so if you're lucky, that person is on planet and will be able to respond to you quickly. You may actually be able to get a response from them before you leave, depending on how quickly ships are toing and froing between those locations.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that has been sent out. Just to accompany that, could you roll me a charisma check? Just like
oh no.
Persuade with charisma, just to see who you come across.
Oh no.
I see this going very badly.
Come on, almighty dice gods. Hey, almighty dice gods.
Not bad.
I was wrong.
Okay, so yeah, you pull out your fresh compad that Dr. Charles gave you after you crushed the last one, and send out this message. Is it a text, voice, or video message that you send?
I think you'd probably send it as a text.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can't see the feudal face that you've got going on. Just
like,
yeah, I think he would be clever enough to realize that his emotion would probably show through, especially at the moment.
Yes, fair enough.
You can see the video of Lockie and anal.
Okay, that has been sent out into the world. Is there, or are there any other things people would like to get done before you leave the planet?
I already messaged you what I'm doing, so do with that information what you want.
Catalina,
Da.
did we check that the little sign on the side of the ship was correct?
Oh, I will come and check it with you. Not my sign. My sign was so good. I like my sign. Oh. I go check
Okay.
the sign with Dimitri.
Yep.
And it says the gloved mohawk.
As the two of you kind of make your way down the gangplank and examine the side of the ship, you can see that the panel you installed that enables you to switch the fancifully painted artwork of the glove Molotov and like a replacement holographic display that you can customize. It's kind of stuck halfway between. Like during the fight, some circuits got shorted out, and it tried to change, but then stopped. So currently, the top half of the glove Molotov sign is still visible, while the bottom half is kind of dropped behind another plate, and that top part is kind of scorched and dented a little bit. It's not looking too hot from the back.
Buff that out. It will be fine.
Dimitri,
Use a bit of WD-40.
my sign.
Robert, what? Pim, stop being disgusting.
No.
I have questions.
You always have questions.
All
I
right,
should not.
all right.
I'm not going to answer them at this time. Yes, we should probably get this fixed before we fly off planet, because it might cause problems.
The problem.
Turbulence.
Right, all right. Let's go fix this. Let's find somebody who do electronics. No,
Okay.
Hang on,
it's fine.
hang on 1 second.
As
while-
Darius walks down the gangplank.
Yeah, I'm just going to send a drone over to it and try and make the drone see if it just fits. Like, just move it over and see if it's
Stuff it in the
roughly
hole.
the same size as the hole.
No, this is not for you to like stick your drones in outside of ship.
Unfortunately not.
Nah, it's going to need to be bigger. Never mind.
Yep. Darius walks away proudly, having already assembled one drone, and is like holding the second one, like screwing components in.
Dimitri, did Darius just try and plug hole with new drone?
That is maybe we need to make like Bombay or something for him to drop his drones out of.
I think we need to give him a like external hatch for. All right.
Speaking of, one of my drones is now a bomber.
Yes. Now, since Dimitri and Catalina, you are both outside, there is something that comes to your attention as you are just standing there looking a bit dismayed. It seems that a new ship has touched down in the spaceport section you're at, and various people wearing very brightly colored orange robes, but not much else, are disembarking from this ship and are going prong to prong and just talking to any staff or crew that are present. And after not too long, you see two such individuals coming your way.
Before they do, are they like preachers?
Based on what you saw from that weird parade a few days ago, you think they might be.
Okay. Hey Dimitri, want to play game fun with these people?
Oh yes, I like game fun. It is good.
Okay, let's do it. It will be entertaining. Yeah.
These are like what are those people from like Earth planet? Johos? I can't remember. It is some annoying religion that likes to bang on door and ask about.
Joho is not very good sounding. Are you sure you get this one right, Dimitri?
No, I'm like dredging memory from long time.
Okay. Is some long lost script you read?
Most likely, it was. Yes, there was probably many things that I read when I was in seminary, which was not the best idea.
Indeed, some
theology studies.
I stick to mechanics and weird bees.
Okay.
Bees.
As you guys have been discussing this, these two individuals have walked along the like bouncy waterborne bridge that connects like the main road to your ship, and they approach. There is something quite unusual notice from one of these individuals. They are both like dressed extremely plainly in just these bright orange robes and are shaved clean. The smaller one is a younger man who's kind of more exuberant and enthusiastic looking, while the other one is a bit older and more shriveled and has something kind of like surgically implanted in the top of his forehead. It looks to be some kind of holographic projector. And as he approaches, he just waves a pleasant hand in front of you, and a variety of very beautiful but kind of like weird, obtuse-looking swirls of patterns and colors begin to project themselves from his forehead out in front of you. And the younger man who is next to him kind of just like looks and nods while paying attention to these swirling patterns and says, "Hello. My name is Master Bohai. How are you doing today?"
Привет. My name is Dimitri, and I am, well, what is with Strange Light Show?
Is this
Are you like
hypnotism? And
Maybe
Kathleen's
they are
gonna
like
poke her finger in the hologram.
poke it?
Okay.
Maybe it's what
It goes straight through.
what's that weird entertainer that like paint the face? Clown, that's it. Maybe it's like clown show.
The colors continue to adapt and change, and this younger man continues to watch. And once they settle, he says, "I am Quan. I am acting as the translator for Master Bohai. This is his method of communicating, as he is a devout quietist Buddhist and has taken a vow of silence."
Oh, it's impressive.
Indeed. You could consider this projection as a kind of visual language that we of this order attempt to learn to communicate with each other.
Does he usually vomit color like this? Is this normal?
That is very strange.
He waits patiently for his master to communicate and says, "The colors are used to convey emotion, and the shapes convey words and thoughts and feelings."
You know, Dimitri, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
Reminds me of the Zaza. You'd get along well with the Zaza. I think you'd communicate really well, you know? Doesn't have words, just lots of hoo-ha and colorful language.
Buzzing and wing vibrating and smells. All that stuff. Yeah.
You should
Anyway,
know.
what is it that you wish, like, why are you here today?
Again, Quan waits patiently for his master to communicate. Then he says, "We are here to ask if you had any interests in embracing the wonder of quietist Buddhism into your hearts."
I think not. I like to speak too much. But, I'm not interested in shaving off my lovely locks here and putting one of those with the metal things in my skull.
I will be honest. Unless it accompanies violence, it would not suit me. And she smiles.
What is it?
She just grins.
What is quietist Buddhist thing? Is it that you just don't speak?
Again, he waits. His master speaks, but they both. Neither of you need to roll perception or insight to see that your responses to their question did make them feel a bit uncomfortable. You're like, violence. But again, Quan translates. But again, Quan translates for the master and says that the main tenets of Buddhism are focused around accepting that nothing in this world is permanent and freeing yourself of all physical or emotional attachments to this world. If you are able to do that, then you may escape this cycle of karma and ascend to a truly beautiful afterlife.
I don't need afterlife. I need this life to be better. And it's not my life, it's other people's life that need to be better. Do you help them? Or do you just ask them to be peace?
I'm like, yeah, no, it is opposite to our religion. Like, we are more about embracing the emotions rather than just shutting them away in a box and ignoring them like they don't exist.
Let them fuel you to make change in the world. Not sit by and watch as people get murdered and killed and expect that you go after your life into fancy place. This seems illogical.
How would you respond to this person who does not speak?
He can hear just fine, says Quan. Just he speaks with the colors. Can the two of you make perception checks, like in an insightful manner with wisdom, just to see if you notice something?
All right.
Quite possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my perception? With wisdom?
Yes, with wisdom. Kathleen, I think you are for sure perceptive enough to kind of have noticed a bit of a pattern occurring within this holographic display. You would still have a long way to go to actually learn this language, but you are beginning to kind of get a sense of the colors and then gauging the reaction of translator Quan to those colors. You suspect that he might at times be paraphrasing his master to come across as more cordial than his master intends. And
purple is the color of perplexion.
And
it's just what English teachers do with books when they ask for an essay.
And as Quan observes his master's projection, the colors look a bit more churned up and tumultuous in its pattern, and so Quan observes patiently, nods, smiles, and says, "So, what's your religion?" And at that, his master just like smacks him on the shoulder and glares at him as though he said something wrong.
Oh, don't beat him. It's okay. Everyone allowed to believe what they believe. Is open universe, you know. It's just difference of opinion, you know.
It is better, in my opinion. It is better, in my opinion, to pick a religion, maybe, but at least experience the others before you truly choose who you wish or what you wish to believe in. I'm just imagining like this projection of colors is now just like a vortex with red spikes and shit in it.
It is getting a bit more churned up, and after Quan kind of observes it and looks visibly nervous, like perceiving this, he says, "We should be taking our leave now. Please have a wonderful rest of your day." And he just like walks off a bit too quickly.
Is your master okay? He looks a little bit a little bit green, I guess.
Quan calls back, "It's okay. He is fine. He's just tired."
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Have a lovely day.
Okay, that's Tanya. Have a nice day.
Okay. And then if you like, you guys can set about continuing repairs on the ship.
I think that we maybe need to replace panel with just solid blob at the moment, and fix it better somewhere else.
Let's at least ask around if there is someone who can fix this. I like it, you know. Plus, we don't want to walk around with, you know, half logo. It looks a bit weird. I don't like it.
This is what I mean. Like, we need to either have solid logo or total blank.
I think blank
hologram.
is safer. We are a little bit, you know, a bit too hot right now, you know.
You think that maybe we don't want to go off planet with gloved Molotov written all over the side of ship, and all the pirates go, there they is.
I mean, maybe we did kind of threaten and kill some of them. I mean,
Yes,
Darius
somebody
did,
on board
but
threatened them. Yes.
So, upon doing like a cursory walk around, you can find a person who should be able to make these route repairs for you, just as part of the fixer upper. Like, you talk to the crew who are already working on the repairs and just address your concerns, and they include it on their list of jobs to be done.
And Catalina gives them a very long-winded, specific instructions.
Okay.
Because they're not Harbonan, so they clearly can't possibly understand the intricacies of this.
Okay. I will cut back over to inside the ship and ask that Dr. Charles please make me a tech medical roll to gauge how well your treatment is going with Tasi.
I hate you.
Oh, actually, while I'm out, I'm also going to get supplies to make sure that the machine is fully functional for Tasi.
Yep, sure thing.
The machine.
The machine.
Well,
Okay.
she wants to make sure that Tasi's okay.
Of course.
Would I have an assist from Ying?
Potentially, let's see. Oh, well, I mean, actually, no. But, since the two of you are having to operate in shifts, you are doing it by yourself, then she's doing it by herself, and vice versa. So she's currently resting. Okay. Not bad. You feel confident that you're doing the best you can in helping her to recover and mitigating any potential unfortunate side effects of the treatment.
Can I tell if she's recovering enough to, like, if she's resting enough to recover system strain?
That is something else that was also included in the notes, and a thing that you're observing, because like you are like seeing her condition, you know that at a certain point today you are going to have to psychically heal her to remove some of the cancerous buildup. But as the treatment continues, the healing intervals are going to become wider and wider and wider, which means that she'll be able to like have her system strain gradually go down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Makes it a bit easier.
Yeah, so eventually she should be good. You don't actually have any kind of solid confirmed time on when you think it'll be finished or when she'll wake up. It's all based on personal metabolism. You think she could be out from anywhere between 2 weeks to 2 months. It's very hard to say.
While Dimitri and Catalina are out, Catalina will send Lockie a message. Lockie, do you need anything while we're out and about? You're muted, Ash.
No, I'm good. I've got everything I need.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. So,
Behold, I am devourer.
Yep. So Lucky, if you are just sitting in your cabin, kind of feeling a bit sorry for yourself, you notice that the seat of your in-cabin toilet, its lid starts to like flap open and close, and you hear Pim's voice in your cabin as well, kind of speaking in time with the toilet seat.
That would be Lockie's actual reaction, would just be, oh my god. Pim, what have you done?
I am not him. I am Lord of Justice.
I think at that, Lockie would just stand up, turn to the toilet, turn away, and just walk out the door to go play basketball. I'm not dealing with this shit right now. Literally.
As you start walking through, you just hear through the speakers, I am sorry. I was bored.
Under normal circumstances, he would have found that highly amusing.
Mm-hmm. You can find Lucia down on in the cargo bay doing her morning exercises, and she's more than happy to play a sporting game of one-on-one basketball with you, and is entirely content to do so silently.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Right, Pim, I believe you were hoping to achieve something.
Yes, under the radar if I can.
Indeed. Well, that's not going to be easy because the items in question are under 24/7 surveillance by either Dr. Charles or Nurse Ying.
Okay.
So, because they're in the machine and it is attached to Tasi. So you may not be able to do it sneakily.
Oh, I did say I was going to take a few samples, didn't I?
Yes,
Last
but
session.
no
one complained.
You do have the samples from the one that attacked you as well. So you've got big, ferocious, angry ones, and assuming people are okay with it, you can also take a sample of the. I believe I called this strain the Proteus 12 prototype. Yes, so you can obtain samples of both of those. I'll just wait. So you'll need to be in some kind of armature to be interfacing with the machinery. Which one do you use? You're in the Echo? Okay, so you go down. Because this machine isn't specifically designed for you to extract the nanobots mid-function, can you just make me a tech post-tech roll to see how well you can manage it?
If he comes in while I'm in the room, I will tell him to leave. I will not allow him anywhere near that machine while it's still plugged into Tasi and working.
I wouldn't do it while it's plugged in.
It's going to be plugged in for the next couple of weeks until Tasi recovers and wakes up.
Yes, that is true. It's still currently operating.
Then I will not go in while he is in the room.
Okay. You wait about 12 hours, and at that point, it's the evening times, and Nurse Ying is in there instead.
Hello.
Oh, yes. Hello. You were the strange one, weren't you?
Yes. Pardon me.
One way to put it.
And I'm just gonna walk up and, if I can, extract some. I've got to roll my post-tech actually.
Well, as you go to interface with the machinery, I'm sure Nurse Ying just hears Dr. Charles' voice in the back of her head, which stressed strenuously and a lot how important it was that nobody interfere with this machine. So she does stand up and say, "Oh, what are you doing?"
I am extracting some of the nanites. Having built this machine, I think I could improve it if I knew what the nanite's genetics or machinery makeup was.
And you're certain you can do so safely without the patient being compromised?
It shouldn't be too bad. As long as the machine's nanites are, as we say, shut down, isolated. They don't appear to be able to go through glass, so a typical syringe might be able to complete what I need.
Roll persuasion.
I literally would have
With intelligence or charisma?
I'd say in this situation with intelligence because of the way you're explaining the situation.
I legitimately would have told Nurse Ying that the only person allowed to touch that machine is either myself or Catalina.
Where's the roll? Not bad. Well then, considering the circumstances, Dr. Charles, could you please roll me persuade with intelligence?
To see if I could persuade her better?
Yeah. To see how convincing you were, because I feel like that's more interesting.
Not convincing enough. Apparently.
Okay. She is prepared to yield to Pim's alleged expertise and will allow him to attempt to extract a sample. Right. Okay, Pim. Now you can attempt to make your post-take roll with intelligence to see how well you do at extracting.
Nurse Ying, can I please have your assistance in extracting?
She doesn't seem willing to do that. She's already like
It will improve the chances.
She doesn't quite understand this technology and doesn't really want to she's allowing you to do it, but she is loyal to Dr. Charles, and if it turns out that Dr. Charles comes back and is upset, she doesn't want to have been seen helping you.
All right, I rolled a 7.
Basically. Okay.
Deniability.
Plausible deniability. I'd say that's enough for you to extract a small but a sample nonetheless, and to do so, you believe, safely.
Okay, I was like, because I built the machine, so with Charles and that, so I know how it works.
Yeah, of course. So you have you've got a small vial of Tasi's blood that has suspended in it some more concentrated chunks, or to your eyes like small flakes floating in it that are made up of these nanites.
All right, I'm going to place that in a sealed glass box and then take it to the workshop.
Okay, sure thing. And
you want nanites? Because that's how you get nanites.
and you begin your work. Since it's now the evening times, Darius, you receive a ding dong at the ship that is directed at you.
A ding dong?
A ding dong, like a person is outside the ship and is hailing you specifically from.
Oh, someone's ringing the bell.
Okay. Yeah,
it's a ding dong.
All right,
Darius.
I'll just send a drone out and see who it is first.
Okay.
What do you want?
You're so pleased to have your drones back, I can tell.
Yeah.
Okay. As your drone proceeds down the staircase through the engine room into the hangar bay, you see that it is Commander Lee standing there outside the ship.
I'll just flick open all the doors and say I'm in the comms room, over the comms.
Okay. She calls back. Did you want to get that drink?
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I nearly forgot. I'm working on shit. Hang on. And I get up, walk downstairs, and just carrying tools and shit on the way, and soldering gear, and I'm covered in solder on my clothes and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Just toss it to the side. Long night. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. She leads you not very far away to another one of the spurs from the dock towards what seems to be some kind of spaceship food truck.
Cool.
It looks like it's your basic model shuttle, but it's been modified so that its interior is a kitchen. It comes with portable fold-out aluminium furniture that have been set up around it, and you can see a big flashing sign on the side of it that says Banji's Curries.
Okay.
And so the two of you proceed up to the counter. It seems the person working there who you think must be Banji has some curious cyberware of his own. He's a very skinny Indian-looking man, and you can see through his white vest that there's this clear, flexible panel in his chest that reveals he has a set of cyberware lungs.
Cool.
So as you are talking to him and placing your orders, you can see his lungs rise up and down in his chest as he's speaking to you.
Off-putting, but awesome.
Yeah. So
I'll just sort of go, oh, good, Middle Eastern. It's been a while.
So you can place an order for any kind of classic Indian curry, and you are provided with a kind of traditional Indian liquor called Desi Daru. It's made out of like molasses and sugarcane, and is about 50 proof. So you get it in little shot glasses.
I just sort of actually shrug it off and just say, no, water, please.
Oh. All right. And he provides you a glass of water instead. As Commander Lee just sits there, like nursing her shot glass in front of her. So.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rudely. I'm just not a big drinker.
Then why did you ask to go and get a drink?
Because I want to talk. I heard that I'm from Yakuta, part of ex-commander military. Sorry, commander, I didn't have a rank that high, but I'm part of ex-military. I heard one of your men in there say that during the interrogation, I rewatched the clips, and he said that you'd tried this sort of thing before. What did he mean by that?
Please make me a persuasion roll with charisma.
Irrelevant of what her answer is.
Yep.
I'm actually going to overrun her the moment she starts answering.
Okay.
But
she kind of like sets the shot glass down and turns to you and says, "Now, the thing about that is, it's
irrelevant, totally. The point is I've made some hard calls myself previously, and I'm just warning you. I would suggest that you don't make your own.
It's a challenging world we live in, Darius.
Isn't it just?
Especially this one.
I sort of smile at that and just sort of sift through the curry for a moment.
What kind of spice intensity did you think Darius would have ordered?
Probably pretty spicy, and he'd be okay with it too.
Oh yeah. You're just stirring the bowl around.
It's got like oil over the top of it, and chili oil and shit.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Quite crazy. But I'm surprised, Rory. I thought you were more of a white boy and wouldn't like the spicy things.
I love spicy food.
Oh, okay. There you go. I love it too, except I'm allergic to it. But that's irrelevant.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah, it's the worst rashes every time I eat really spicy food, but I eat it anyway because it's fucking good.
Yeah, it's really
anyway.
I wish.
Anyway, while he's sort of just sifting through it, he's going, yeah, challenges. Actually, challenges. Speaking of challenges, well, I think we both still have challenges lined up, don't we?
Always.
Perhaps we can make a deal. When we came onto planet, we met some friends off planet. I mean, look at our ship. It's damaged to shit.
Yes, I noticed.
The pirates. Are you aware of them?
Yes. They've been very elusive. Our fleet isn't perhaps what it once was, and we've been trying our best to track them down, but they are very adept at what they do.
I have a bit of a personal request, and I'm willing to make a trade for it. How about you can interview me on the time I mind melded with an AI, and I'll go on your records for that, and you give me any information that you possibly have on them.
Interesting. One more persuasion roll, please.
So this is a total just pride thing for Darius.
Yeah.
Pride Month was last month.
Yeah, I mean pride, and not your pride in the sense of they fuck with me, I'm going to cripple them. 9. I nearly said 19. 9.
Okay. She turns to you and gives you kind of a quizzical look and says, it's very tempting.
You'd be surprised. The smaller a group is, the more damage it can do to larger ones.
I may just take you up on that.
Oh, and as a side note, the ship that Tasi came in on,
Yes?
do you know where they went?
I can investigate that for you if you like. It seems they are complacent or accomplices to crimes of their own.
Okay. That would be greatly appreciated if you could. He sort of just like stretches at a table and motions for like another round of drinks, even though he's only drinking water.
Yeah, it is provided by Banji, no problem. And as you guys sit there and eat your spicy curry, like she does agree to this exchange. So over the next few days, you can pay a visit to another Pavlakakis organization facility. You'll be subjected to brain scans and an interview, and in exchange, you are provided with information on the Zervaz group, the pirates currently in orbit around the planet.
For the information that I'll actually give them, it's going to be 70% truthful.
Okay.
And by that I mean 30% of the most important things about Pym that could seriously lead to issues is going to be plausible lies.
So the focus of the information you give them is more on your experience in that space, not your experience interacting with Pym.
Yes.
Okay.
And the experience in that space is going to be slightly wrong, because I know this is information that is unique to me specifically. I deal in information a lot, and I know it's powerful information. But because I'm the only one who's ever experienced it, I know that I can probably lie as much as I want, and they're not going to know.
Very true. Just for the sake of it, roll me another persuade check with advantage, just to see how well you come across in the interview section, because like
charisma again.
Yeah, charisma, because you are able to like come across as
the first one's 10.
Yeah.
Which pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
And the second one's 9. So yeah.
Yeah, with a 10, you're able to keep your composure and are able to avoid any logical like lies or inconsistencies in the stories you tell, and present a nice, clean, crisp narrative that is exactly how you want it to be.
So total bullshit, effectively.
Sure.
See, this is the thing. It's not about what you have; it's what you trade it for.
In exchange, you get some information on the Zervaz group. I'll just go to my planetary database on their home planet and see what I can tell you. They operate on a planet called Grimhild in Hex 708. It is considered quite an old planet, and any ice caps that did exist on it have long since melted. So most civilizations are restricted to existing on the last remaining mountainsides, like protruding out of the ocean.
Yep.
It's a pretty peculiar world in that something that grows on the planet naturally is a kind of combustible plant. It's something that can very easily be used as potentially a grenade or a larger explosive. It's like, say, if you were to walk up to a tree, pull an apple from it, it's now live. You only have a certain amount of time to throw it before it explodes.
Sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the Zervaz group, as like a pretty decently powerful organization on that planet, have their own stores of this explosive. They normally try and harvest it more safely than just pulling not quite ripe apples off trees. But they do trade in weapons and explosives specifically quite a lot, and recently have actually been expanding their operations beyond their homeworld, and are basically just trying to travel around and shake down whoever they can find to try and make money.
Fair enough. Cool. And any direction on Ridley's ship?
Oh yes, last that was noted by any sensors on this. On this point, they are able to like get a quick data acquisition from the comm satellites, and according to the comm satellite, the data packets they picked up for delivery were bound to what's the planet called? Ojaria, which is the planet of operation for the Bayes Mercenary Company, which is where they said they were going anyway, to collect new crew and then be redeployed for assignment. So it's possible that they're still there now, but in the time it'll take you guys to fix your ship and maybe pursue, you think that
They
be
probably have a new assignment. Yeah.
So that's what you're able to acquire from this exchange.
Excellent. I'll just thank everyone and head back to the ship then.
Certainly. After another day on this planet, you guys I feel like at one point during the day, Lucia is in the main like mess hall kitchen area, just like browsing through like information from the planet's surface, and it seems that there's something pretty alarming going on. It seems that there is some kind of nanobot monster v Jaeger fight going on in the streets of Koundouriotis. There's a soldier from Pavorg piloting a mech suit and is like beating up this nanobot monstrosity just in the street.
I think this is time that we get off planet when we can.
You think it's best time while they are all distracted?
No, I think it's best time before the whole town goes to shit.
What kind of suit is he piloting?
It is a mech suit. It's only a light mech, so it's about 9 feet tall. This guy, and
Only 9 feet tall.
yes, I mean compared to the heavy mechs, which are like 20 feet tall.
Oh, he's just gonna be looking at it like, I gotta get myself one of those.
Yeah, like it's got this big round energy shield on its left arm that's absorbing and deflecting attacks from this thing, and as it fights, it pulls out like this big stun baton and just starts beating down. It's like, stop resisting.
Yeah, it's a cop.
Basically.
Oh.
Topical, unfortunately.
And probably something we should keep out of stream.
That's a good point.
It slipped out. It slipped out.
It's okay. I was borderline with my religion talk, which I meant no offense to anyone by.
Indeed, but yes, omitting any dialogue, which I feel like you guys wouldn't hear. It's just a guy piloting a mech trying to find a monster, and it looks really cool.
I need one. I need one.
You definitely need one.
I think he would spend like the rest of the day just like, hey Darius, how do you reckon I could get one of those?
I don't know. You could steal it, I guess.
No, I gotta do it legally.
Well, I mean, you could like join their organization. I mean, you can buy them, can't you?
I don't know, can you? I've never
I
seen one
don't see
before.
why not. I'm going to spend the rest of the day trying to find black markets for mech suits.
Well, bear in mind that you guys still can't leave the shipyard, so your conversations are a bit limited to the people who are working there.
Yeah, well, the equivalent of Googling or sending out messages to various cells across different planets to say, hey, anyone got a mech suit for sale? Anyone know where I can get a mech suit? All that sort of shit.
Roll me, I mean, have you got culture, any relevant culture skills, like culture criminal or anything like that?
I think I might have. Actually, if I do have a culture skill, because we hadn't set it up totally, there we go. Culture criminal is 0 and culture spacer is 0. Can I actually lower culture criminal to -1 and make culture immersion? Because that's what I would have done if I could.
I would be okay with that.
Okay, cool.
That makes sense for your character.
And I'll roll with that. I assume charisma?
I'd say intelligence, since you're browsing the web instead.
Okay.
All right. You cast your net wide, send out some feelers. Nothing on planet comes back, but you have probed some of the nearby solar systems as well. So you may receive a response in the next few days.
There you go, Lockie. I put out some feelers. I doubt we can afford one at the moment, but we can at least do some window shopping, I guess.
Yeah, then that way I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to afford a good one for a while.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe a jury-rigged piece of shit, but I mean, like, you've got to know how to use them, so I guess it could be useful training opportunity.
Exactly.
Rory.
Yes?
You know exactly what I want to do. We've had this conversation.
I do, yes.
Would Catalina know of a way to say maybe use her contacts or her past kind of like experience to figure out a place that she could go to or people to contact to try and like see if someone could help her?
What kind of culture skills do you have?
Well, I was thinking I could use my profession.
Okay.
But otherwise, my culture is Yakuta or Habona.
Just roll me a flat 2d6 roll with your intelligence. Just see if anything occurs to you. Okay. You feel that if anybody is that considering your current jobs on the table and what you and places that you think you'll go, your next destination, considering your passengers and your job, is the planet of Igelia. This planet has a pretty questionable history when it comes to the law and organized crime activities, which you would be aware of. And it can sometimes be a safe haven for like less than reputable people in the area. You feel like if you were to like get to Igelia and maybe put your feelers out, like really get out there and talk to people, you may be able to find someone who could help you.
Okay.
It seems like a solid lead.
All right.
Just get there and find someone. All right. Pim, have we got a Pim? I would like, you have been tinkering away with these nanobots for the better part of a day. What are you going to attempt to do with them?
Hug them.
Just see if I. I just want to get at coding. Like I said, I did all this while they were steeped above a small contingent of highly corrosive acid, so that if I do feel that there might be an issue, dunk.
Okay. Just make me a tech maltech roll, please.
Okay. With intelligence?
With intelligence, because that's exactly what this is. Oh boy.
Oh no.
What you gonna get?
Yeah.
Frickin'.
What the?
Oh my!
Holy!
What am I gonna get, Rory?
Oh
Tell
my!
me.
Double sixes apparently. Oh my god. Okay.
I think that's the highest roll I've ever had.
Yes. Doubles. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
You can do it 3 times in a row.
What
and
do
then
I-
you can match proof.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's like looks at Darius.
Okay.
What are you, Darius? I'm you, but better.
You are tinkering around with this code. You're applying some of your old archive knowledge from before the Scream that you've managed to dig out of your data banks. And while you believe you you are far from achieving any kind of functionality out of this, you think you've got a pretty decent start. Because programming nanobots reliably, especially ones that have been behaving this way for this long, will be a considerable challenge. But you have begun your journey in that field, and your beginning was a very promising one.
Don't you just threaten them with tasers and electromagnetic radiation or something?
Because you've been working.
They don't feel or think.
Because you've been working on this for a day, and this entire planet's greatest scientists have been trying to crack this for hundreds of years. So this is by no means going to be a quick process. It will take you time, and it will take you great effort.
At least tell me that I am researching these in a safe manner.
Yes, you've taken every precaution available to you, and you feel like you feel like you started your research well and will be able to progress well.
No, D20's just did a reroll. She wants me to reroll that bloody thing. Not happening.
What?
Yeah, fuck.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's Rory's call.
Well, I believe the intention of the reroll mechanic was to help
Save
players
you.
to
Going to die,
succeed.
people.
You as the viewers, who I care for greatly, I want my players to succeed in their endeavors. It's just my job to provide sensible challenge. You can force me to reroll something that was successful, because that helps the players. But you can't force the players to reroll a thing that was successful just because you want to see them suffer.
But it's so much fun.
Get wrecked.
I mean, I am curious to see what the reroll would have been.
All right, I'll do the reroll. If it's another 14, though, I demand love.
Indeed.
We'll say that reroll is banked, and D20 or Kim can decide what gets rerolled.
Oh, you. All right, let's see what I get.
Show what you got. That would have been nearly as good.
Yeah, it's half, but you know. There you go. You get to decide what I get a 7 on. Hey.
Oh boy. So yes, that has occurred. And about this time, I believe Dr. Charles would come storming into the workshop after just changing shifts with Nurse Ying and hearing about what
Reading
Pim did.
the notes from Nurse Ying going, I was Pim in here.
She explains that Pim made some minor adjustments to the machine.
I just imagine she just goes, "Oh, it's been such a long shift. I think I might go to bed."
The thing is, I trust Nurse Ying a lot more than I trust all of you because I've known her for years.
Yep. She explains that Pym gave her great confidence in his abilities since apparently he was partially responsible for building the machine, and that he assured her that he would do everything safely and well.
Pym,
Dr. Chow,
could you not just wait until the machine had finished doing its work?
I want to increase Tasi's chances. If the machine didn't, then it would have been better.
At the moment, the machine is working.
Then
And
there is
every
no
time we
issue.
mess with it, other than just adjusting to make sure it keeps working, we risk Tazi's life.
I like contingencies. Should the machine stop working, we need to have a backup plan. Do you have a backup plan, Dr. Charles?
I am researching backup plans because I have all the information from the research center itself. I'm looking at
And
other treatments that I can do.
And I am
I'd rather not
based on
risk it
archived
on...
information from the pre-tech, pre-screen era. If you have access to that information, then you would be doing it as well.
I'd be glad if you could share this information with me so I can enhance my research.
I don't mind sharing it with you, but I need to be able to do said research first.
You said you had information
I
about
had
research
information. I
from
do not
before the
have
screen.
research.
Just don't touch the machine again until after Tasi does not need it anymore.
No need. I've already got what I needed, so yes, I shall not touch it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Basically, go back in, set up my computers on the desks again, and keep researching all the information that they gave me.
Indeed. Can you go ahead and make me another tech medical roll for your treatment plan?
Who are you having that conversation?
Down in the workshop where Pym was working. Very good.
She's
I
alive!
realized that I'd done the last ones wrong.
Oh?
Because I have a med kit
+1
that
to
I'm using to
intelligence
keep her
as well.
stable, which gives me a +1.
Don't you have a +1 to intelligence, sir?
Good point. No, he
I
doesn't.
have wisdom.
You don't?
I am wise. I am 0 on everything except for wisdom, which gives me a +1, which I need as a psychic.
Oh, God.
Mhm.
I swear to God, at some point, I need to wait until you go, Pym, stop doing that. And I'll say, okay, Boomer.
Oh boy. I think at this point we are gonna. Yes.
What?
Sorry.
you saying?
I'm in a strange mood tonight.
That's okay. I think
Aaron.
at this point we're gonna go for a break because it's around 8 o'clock. When we come back, the ship is gonna be finished, and you as a party will be able to take off. Assuming you guys don't have any other purchases or things you wish to do on the planet.
Yep, yep. I also really need
No,
water. So
leave.
break would be
Leave
great.
is good.
Yes, because I've got to pee, pretty bad.
Yeah, likewise.
We'll be back, folks, in like
Yes.
10 minutes.
We're back in a minute.
Bye.
Hello, welcome back. Before we begin, I would like to apologize about my absolutely in poor taste comment in regard to police brutality. That was not a good thing that I did, and I apologize, and I hope people can forgive me. Moving on. Right. What is the day of the day on this day is a very important day.
Wait, Rory. You haven't updated us on the news in a while, and Catalina watches that shit like it's, you know.
That is a very good point. I will begin with informing you guys of the information that you have received back from messages. First, there is Lockie, who sent a message out to a Commodore from a Commodore Fiawara from the Blaze Mercenary Corporation in regards to the location of the Suma Hayabusa. You rolled an 8 on the Persuade. I'm just gonna do my own thing because I feel like it. Okay. You receive a reply from Commodore Fiawara. It seems that he sent you his personal comm channel. So the response you get, it's a voice call, but it sounds like he's in some kind of pub or bar. So there's a lot of like loud bassy music, and he's like, hey Lucky, yeah, how you doing, mate? He's like, it was great. It was a great time. I saw your message. Man, I feel so bad that you aren't working here anymore. Oh, it's such a shame. So your crew, I mean, I don't really see why you can't just call them yourself. Maybe you want to surprise them. That's all good with me. I checked on the system. It seems they've come back to Azariah to re-equip, gain new crew, and be sent out somewhere else. Now just take a quick look-see. Just like dancing along. Yes. Oh yeah. We've sent them down to QP. It seems that there's potentially some kind of disturbance there. All right, sorry, Matt. Oh, I love this song. Gotta go.
So that's great because that comes up really well with what Catalina wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll wait for you to finish. Also, did I ever get a letter back from my aunt?
You did not.
Oh dear.
Oh,
yes. Okay. And Darius, you also sent out a message kind of setting out your feelers, expressing curiosity in potentially acquiring a mech. You actually did get something back from that.
Oh.
Yeah. It was nothing concrete, but it seems that there are certain rumblings amongst a few like immersion sympathetic individuals in the sector that say that there's something going on the planet Idalia to do with underground bot fights.
That's
There
totally
you go.
what I was calling.
Go for a bet as well.
Yep. So it sounds like people are assembling, fighting, gambling, and perhaps even like fighting for pinks if the bet's high enough, with all manner of crazy, wild, and wacky drones, like robots, like armatures, and even like in the high end with some really wealthy individuals, just mechs, just people in mechs beating each other up for sport.
Hey, actually, I'm sitting down at the table just drinking a coffee, and I'm just like, hey, actually, Pim, Lockie, come have a look at this shit.
Yeah, you do have some like shaky cam footage of somebody who like snuck a compound into the arena, and it's these two mechs like slugging the absolute dickens out of each other while people cheer and like throw creds into the ring.
Found my next
Diction.
my next goal.
You wouldn't
Win a
do
bot
that,
fight.
would you, Darius?
Dude, look, they even like do drone fights and shit like that. I mean, I reckon we could probably enter. We might even win some equipment. I mean, it's probably illegal, but like, what planet is this on?
It's on the planet Igelia.
Igelia.
It's your next stop.
We were heading this way. Do you want to get something equipped out? I mean, I could probably get the drone running.
We could definitely go have a look at this.
Sick stuff, huh?
Are you asking me to create something to fight in this, well, barbaric? I don't know what word to add to this sentence.
Well, yeah. As an aside, actually, I think I can probably get something with a bit of an edge. Give me some time. I'm gonna go to my room and start ripping apart some of my equipment. And this is a terrible idea. But my line tap, the data phase tap.
Yep.
That allows me to access stuff. I want to try and integrate that into the drone.
Okay. That's something that you can probably work on during your journey. But
yep.
I will also mention, in case anybody wants to act on this information, that a few pieces of information did come in through the sector news network during your time waiting here. It seems that there has been a reported increase in crime rates on Koundouriotis have been blamed on the government favoring flashy Pavlakakis anti-nanobots equipment over grassroots community support. Others believe it is the influence of the newly founded Church of the Quietist Buddhists. So there's a small amount of civil unrest occurring on this planet that you are on right now. Yeah.
Sorry?
No. If you want to say anything, go ahead.
It's like if it wasn't bad enough for these people already with pirates and fucking orbit. Now it's like
Pirates
now a bunch of crazy like Buddhist people have come in and just like been like, yeah, let's just fuck with your entire civilization.
Hey, Buddhists, my favorite.
Oh boy.
The Church of Atom from Fallout. Just not there to help. They're not there to help, okay?
Okay.
They're radioactive. Just shoot them.
Look, I made planet.
There is another announcement that pertains to the planet of Alfdis.
Uh-oh.
It says
Christian says.
Relations between the Alfdis Psychic Academy and the university continue to deteriorate as new information surfaces showing a plan by Alfdis U to sabotage a project run by the academy. Several local businesses sponsored by the university have closed their doors in response to this development. So it's not all as happy as it seems on Alfdis. There's still tensions are brewing between those two institutions.
Academic rivalries.
Yeah, basically. Which is
we deserve more funding. No, we deserve more funding. Both of you deserve the same funding. Shut the f up.
You're in that really challenging situation of being in the middle, and And so too your parents as well, because they are from opposing institutions, but found love all the same.
Yeah, it's like, oh god.
One last thing does also come in during this time. And I feel like this last one would arrive as you guys were about to set off. It is a quote from an off-duty Yakutan general. States that they are unfazed by the cowardly and unsuccessful attack the Harbonan terrorists made against their encampment. It has still given them enough time to rest, recuperate, and perform maintenance on their service vehicles.
What?
So it sounds like
You
the
gotta
forces.
remember it's propaganda from Yakuta's perspective.
Yes. So it sounds like the forces that landed on Yakuta have been able to survive attacks made by the Harbonans and perform repairs on their equipment.
If the Harpooners, you don't want them there because it's not actually a peaceful embassy mission. Yeah.
It's not, but it's all that spin that's going on. They are aggressively spinning this to sound like it's peaceful negotiations being performed against hostile terrorists. Because that's how they do.
Something very bad. I'm going to leave that for off stream.
That's fair enough. I think I've put enough feet in my mouth for one day. So, I will just check what day it is for you guys. Okay, so it started on the 10th. It took 5 more days for repairs, so you guys will be taking off on the 15th of May. Now, remind me, Dimitri, did you pay for the repairs up front? I think you did.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so too. So all the repairs, the refueling, the resupplying, and the ship's maintenance have all been done and completed. The ship is shiny and new, and you guys are set to depart. Important question: where are you going?
Wherever we were meant to go before we diverted here.
Yeah.
Yes. You were meant to be going to the planet of Igelia because your passengers, Maximilian Napier and his 2 assistants, are still on board and hoping to get there for you guys to assist in some Indiana Jones type chicanery on the planet.
That's still the plan for now.
Yes.
Indeed. So
They're
if
just currently held up in the cargo hold, just shivering. They're like, space battles. No, it's...
Actually, Catalina will go and check on them because that is who she is.
Indeed.
Also, they've been pestering her the entire trip, so she's kind of like grown a bit of a weird fondness for them.
Yeah, they've been a bit impatient. Like, they do understand the circumstances about what's going on with everything and how sometimes space travel just happens. But Maximilian has been like eager and keen to get on site as quickly as possible.
Well,
So
I'll keep him updated on like ship repairs, because as far as he's concerned, our adventure to this planet, like, we don't have to mention anything about the nanobots or Lockie's friend particularly. It's just a byproduct of us stopping here. I'll give them some sort of like little like passing by comments of like, oh yeah, we've just, while we were here, we realised that one of our friends was here and sick, so we brought him on board to look after him on the Medi thing, but that shouldn't affect the mission. We've still got like 4 days of repairs to go. Like, just take it easy. Also, we can't, oh, actually, if I'm gonna do this, I'll do it in her accent. Also, we kind of can't go outside of the ship port. It's kind of dangerous, so probably better to stay in safe zone, you know? You don't want to get infected by nanobites and then end up like, well, friend in the medical bay.
There is something that you notice, like as you open the door to the passenger dorms on the ship, is it's kind of this weird inconsistency of events. It looks like the 3 of them, like based on their body language, it looks like the 3 of them are engaged in some kind of heated argument that gets stopped abruptly by you opening the door. But you heard absolutely no sound coming from them during the build-up, and as you open the door, none of them were speaking, but were making emotive motions as though they were.
Oh my god. There's more fucking telepathics. I hate telepaths.
Can I do an insight check to see if I can understand the situation better?
That would, yeah, by all means. That would be a variation on perception with wisdom.
So if you fail, then they're actually just Italians.
If I fail, I just presume they're having
Look
an
what I just
argument in
posted.
Zaza.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
So
fail.
you're able to pass enough of the subtext to understand that they are arguing, but you don't understand how it is that they're communicating with each other, because they were obviously communicating before you walked in.
Sorry, am I interrupting?
Maximilian kind of turns and just like waves his hand, and his two assistants just like walk over and take a seat, and he says, "No, of course not, my dear. How can I be of assistance?" And like he walks forward and kind of pulls a hanky from his breast pocket and like mops his brow as though it was very. It was kind of, his blood was boiling a bit.
Are you sure? Like, I can come back later. I was just gonna give you updates.
No, it's fine. We were just hoping to get underway as soon as possible, and I was having an exchange with my colleagues about how long it is that we expect that will be.
Right, well, we're planning on leaving pretty soon. The repairs are almost finished. I think we're doing final checks. If you wanted to, go and get anything from the port before we leave, that's all. You go back to your weird little standoff once I'm gone. I'm good. I'll leave you to it.
We've already made all required preparations. We just hope to get underway as quickly as possible, and then we can perform our work.
Is there a reason for mad rush or just sheer excitement?
I don't think that's necessarily a concern of yours. It's merely something that we have taken into account as part of our journey, and we want to have the best chance of success in our investigation. And in that regard, time is somewhat of the essence.
I see. No, this is lie. I don't see. It is very much of my concern. I am very curious. I would like to know.
Okay. Roll persuasion with charisma.
Should have gotten points in persuasion. I could have.
You get a +1 and a -1, I believe.
I did okay.
Not bad. He kind of relaxes a bit and says, "Right, how best to put this? The individuals in charge on the planet we are going to are very unique. It required a great amount of effort to secure the rights to this dig as an organization not from the planet. I fear that the longer we take to arrive to the site, the more likely they may be to rescind our exclusive rights and grant them to another party."
I see. Interesting choice of words.
We were assured that the time allotted by our initial estimate would be sufficient, but since we've been delayed, I am growing a bit concerned.
Is it possible to send message forward of our arrival to let them know that we encountered some pirates? Had to stop the repairs?
I already have, and the response has not done much to alleviate my concerns.
Don't worry, we'll talk to them when we get there. They can't say no to us.
Expect us to take on our entire army by ourselves?
Also, she kind of just pats the Molotov next to her on her hip.
She just carries a prepared Molotov at all times.
Oh, speaking of, she went shopping and bought some more supplies for Molotovs. She make Molotovs.
Okay. Cool. He just kind of like smiles weakly and says, "As you say, I'm sure you'll do your best."
We will do our best. We made contract, and we will do our best to fulfill contract. Unfortunate circumstances kind of took us a little off course.
Thank you for letting us know that we'll be departing soon. We'll make
And
it
if you need any help mediating your weird disagreement here, you just let us know. We can help.
That shouldn't be a problem. And like he kind of walks towards you and like as if he just wants this conversation to be over and just tries to close the door as quickly as he can.
What? He's payback. He annoyed me all trip. Now I annoy him.
Door closes. Oh boy.
She just shrugs and like goes to check in and help Dr. Charles.
Mm-hmm. Right. Speaking of Dr. Charles, can you please, for me, make 2 more tech medical rolls for the remainder of your treatment that occurred on planet?
May I assist or not?
You may.
I will...
Nurse Ying is about to depart, so Dr. Charles may need to lean on another member of the crew to assist during this time, and it could be you. So yes.
do you want me to do a post-tech or something else check to assist?
Tech medical it would be.
To assist?
To assist.
With intelligence?
Yes.
6.
Oof. Unfortunately, you aren't able to manage it. So, Dr. Charles, make your first roll. Very nice. And make your second roll, which wouldn't be assisted by Catalina because she was busy.
I still got the med kit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. You have done very well in all of your rolls. Good
I know,
job.
this is weird. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
For today.
Oh boy. So far so good. So yes.
Just you.
So we'll as Kathleen marches back through the cargo bay up to the engine room, we cut across to Dr. Charles standing on the gangplank with Nurse Ying as she says her goodbyes.
Your help has been much appreciated over the last 6 days. It didn't go as how I expected, to be completely honest.
Well, on this planet, I find that things often don't.
True. But yes, I'd like to thank you for your time and you for having to take so much time away from your own work. So I hand her, I swipe her across 3,000 credits.
3,000 credits? She looks a bit like wide-eyed and surprised. She's like, "Oh, Dr. Charles, you don't need to. It's fine. I was just trying to help."
Please, a gift for helping me save a friend.
He should just kiss her already.
Just
She's old enough to be my mother.
Just poke your head pokes around the doorway to the workshop. Say this.
That appears to be a lot of money, Nurse Ying. If you are willing to give me 100 credits, I will give you a picture of Lucky after he finished in the shower.
She
Him, go away.
Bright red.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
No regret.
She looks very flustered.
You want to make it to the next planet?
Taking naked pictures of the crew and selling them.
And then I'm like, if you ever feel like
100 credits, you say?
getting off planet for a while, an assistant would be much appreciated.
She kind of looks around your ship, looks outside, sees this large holographic projector screen highlighting the Kaiju v Jaeger fight from two days ago, and says, "Maybe. I'll let you know."
Let us know at some point, and we'll come pick you up.
Of course. And at that, she walked down. I think she should probably exchange a hug with you, Dr. Charles.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Give her a hug before I let her go.
If you ever need anything,
Same here.
And then she...
I hope to talk to you soon.
Of course. And she walks down the gangplank, hails a cab, and proceeds back into the city. Okay. Now, is there any other business people were hoping to take care of on the planet?
How much did it cost me to get supplies for more Molotovs?
How many Molotovs do you have supplies for?
30.
4? I'd say like 40 credits.
Ah.
Is reasonable.
Okay.
Do you mind making me some of those too?
Sure. How many do you want? They're easy.
I'm sort of like fiddling with the internals of a drone as I'm talking to you. I reckon this Bombay can probably fit 2.
So I'll make 6. So how much is that?
That'll be another 20 credits. You like run down the gangplank and just buy 2 bottles of what's it called?
Like medical grade alcohol, something.
The space shuttle bar, like food truck, Benji's Curries, has traditional alcohol that's 50 proof. You think it's pretty good.
We'll get some use out of that.
Yeah, you grab 2 bottles of, I believe it's called Desi Daru. Is this alcohol which smells really sweet as you're preparing it. So yeah, you spend that and are now prepared to get underway.
I'm gonna say she gets 1 extra vials, like 1 extra Molotov's worth, so she's gonna get 7. But that
Okay.
7th one doesn't actually end up becoming a Molotov because while she's making the Molotov, she's kind of swigging it.
That's going to be very amusing to watch. Just like rolling back and forth. 3 Molotovs prepared, 3 Molotovs onto the cab.
99 Molotovs. Sit on the wall.
No,
99
just stop,
Molotovs.
please.
We take one
not
down,
throw
we
the
throw
Molotov
it
on the wall.
around.
98 Molotovs ready to make.
Catalina, I am concerned.
What? I'm having
Do
good
not throw the
time over
Molotov
here.
on the wall.
What? You don't
You
like
said
my
Catalina.
Molotov
32
collection?
Molotovs on the wall.
Catalina,
That-
have you
I
been
don't
drinking the
want
Molotovs again?
I don't know what you're talking about. But I can see all of... Okay, maybe I don't remember
Yes,
making
it's
this
the
many,
drunken
but
colours.
I can see this many.
So,
God damn it, that is where my vodka went this week.
making
I will
Molotov.
have some
Drinking the
tissues sent to your room, Catalina.
We need to have conversations, Pim. Nobody talks about the private moments I have in my room with my... Wait, tissues? What?
As this loud bickering continues, Brother Dimitri, you are turning all the dials and flipping all the knobs, and the ship shudders into life and begins to take off.
Oh yes, that is my most favorite part of cockpit is knobs.
Lovely. And
Knobs,
so,
knobs, buttons, and pushy things.
yes, I know.
That's oh god.
And so, the ship takes off. You guys end up spending 2 days of travel to get from the planet to the edge of the solar system. Fortunately, you aren't actually confronted by any pirates on the way out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Maybe we have reputation.
For them.
You may have done just enough stupid things to make them think twice about messing with you.
Well, we did completely blow up one of their ships
Yeah.
by maybe.
You're not
targeting
crazy,
by
we're
accident.
crazy.
Legit.
It was
So-
an accident.
I'm sure it was. So, so Dimitri, could you please make me a navigation roll to plot a
Sure.
course?
Would like
Between-
the science officer over there like to assist?
I'm gonna assist. I'll give you disadvantage.
I'm busy looking after bloody Tasi.
Okay, fine. It is fine. It is fine.
I will assist with
Jesus.
your takeoff protocol.
It is fine. You absolutely crush it.
He
Everything
gets
is
us within a meter of our destination.
Just like. Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
see how drunk Catalina actually gets.
Sure.
What is it? A mental effect save or a physical save?
I would call that physical because you are ingesting it.
Body. Whoa! You got very drunk.
No.
She falls asleep with her face on the table. With like
At some point, I'll be like,
I'll take her to her room.
at that point, I like come out of the med bay, and I'm like, okay, time for Catalina's shift. Where is she?
Just like.
Walk into the.
no, you've
I
heard-
go to walk into the workshop, and all I see is arms of Pim's thing. Just pick her up and start moving towards her room. Like, and double shift it is. Walk straight back into the med bay.
I kind of actually imagine that Catalina was sitting at this table here making the Molotovs, and the whole
Yeah.
time you were actually just hearing Catalina sing 99 Molotovs the whole time. And then all of a sudden you just hear it go dead quiet and thunk.
And just.
Yeah, and you walk out and she's passed out and
All right.
Pim's coming along to try and help her to her bed.
And I'm like,
I will
look
carry
at her.
her.
I'm like,
God.
look at my maid kid. No, I could ruin her night. But I'll leave her to it and put my maid kid away.
I'm gonna take her to her bed, quickly run a bioscan to see if she's gonna die. If
She's
not,
fine.
just pull the blanket over her front, make sure her head's on the pillow, nod for a moment, go into her room, her toilet, lift up the toilet seat, and then exit the room.
Catalina.
It's the little things.
Catalina, do you think that there'll be any kind of like Freudian slip as you get tucked into bed by this big, nurturing protector?
Oh, definitely. She would like, oh, hello, you give me hug. It's so good. You know, I haven't been looked after for a very long time, you know. It's so nice. You're so nice. You even have beautiful eyes. She's blurry-eyed. She can't even see. Like, she doesn't even realize it's Pim.
Why, thank you. They were designed to be very alert. Oh,
Oh,
A glowing red.
You sound just like Pim. He's good. I like Pim. Pim is good. He's like an egg that's golden on the inside. He's good egg. And then she just passes out.
right.
Meanwhile,
Oh,
Pim's just like, am I a yolk?
Okay.
Yeah. Am I yolk? Is that what this whole joke was? I'm part of
Okay.
an egg.
You guys have 6 days in drive space where you can't effectively like communicate or do all that jazz. So I will ask what everybody is going to be up to during this time, but I'll take care of the easiest one first. Dr. Charles,
Oh, how'd I guess?
can you please make me two more
Can
tech
I-
medical rolls?
Can I assist with those since I'm also helping him out?
You are like doing swap shifts with him, so he's the one preparing the treatment plan, and you're the one actually performing it. But you aren't actually.
So
Okay,
basically,
I'm not-
most of
I'm
the
not-
actual
yeah.
treatment gets done by me, and then you're just overlooking her to make sure nothing
Yeah.
takes a turn for the
Kinda
worst.
just,
And
like,
then if
sitting
it
in the
does,
room
your
twiddling
first
our
order is to
thumbs.
come and get me.
Yeah.
Basically,
Cool.
making sure that all of her vitals are right.
Anyone ask Pim? He's just a robot.
Yeah, ask
Oh.
Pim. He's good at doing the things. All the things, literally.
Yeah, I've just been
He's busy
waiting.
researching stuff.
No, I'm awake for 24 hours a day.
He is. So one more. Okay.
I don't want to be helped by the robot. Fuck that.
You
It's working though.
you do like genuinely physically exhaust yourself over these 6 days of travel, just like not sleeping nearly enough because you are treating her and like aggressively researching with your notes, making sure that nothing could possibly go wrong. It's a lot of work, but you feel very satisfied to see her coming along well, recovering. You are doing like cursory tests of her reflexes as the days progress, and it seems like she's healing very well and doesn't seem to be incurring any perceivable side effects so far.
As I continue the treatment, I keep a bioscanner fairly close to her head,
Of course.
for brain activity and anything like that.
Mhm.
And I also look for any sort of grey matter scarring.
Sure thing. It seems like, I'd say with all of your successful rolls, there doesn't appear to be any real amount of note. There are like small sections where perhaps previously in her treatment there was a blood clot that formed and was at risk of making it to her brain, but it was caught. The damage obtained by it was minimal, and she's recovering well from that too.
Nice.
Yeah. So you're all good. What's everyone else doing during the 6 days of travel?
I feel like go for it.
I was going to say, I feel like Brother Dimitri is trying to instruct him on religion.
Oh.
Do microwaves go to the afterlife?
Someone just like walks into the room and hears that as partway through the conversation, just like
Turn around and walk out again.
It's like, and I'm done.
I just suddenly picked Red Dwarf. No silicon heaven, but where do all the calculators go?
oh dear.
Well, I like to think in my religion that everybody goes to an afterlife.
You like to think.
No, I've not been there myself, so I cannot say that it actually exists.
I can assure you, 600 years spent in a pile of trash. Right now, I am in heaven.
Oh, there you go. You've made it already. Well done. But it is better than committing suicide by putting metal in yourself.
I am made of metal.
No, there is what is it? Is old saying from like a long time ago. It was do not put the metal in science oven.
In science oven?
No, do not put the metal in science oven. It makes it go explode. It is a bad idea.
I have very many questions.
What movie was that from again? I can't remember.
American Hustle. American Hustle? Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, God.
Science of it.
So anyway,
The education was long and arduous.
it's a fair.
At certain points, he said, "Do yolks go to heaven?"
Oh boy.
No, yolks go into the mouth. It's kings.
Dimitri, could you make me a religion roll with your wisdom just to see how much of your faith and creed you can really get to stick? Yeah, you are able to effectively convey like the base tenets and dogmas of paganism to him, and you think it may have sunk in a little bit in terms of his grasp of the topic.
Religion seems strange.
That's
But it
the
does
hum
not
of it.
seem like it is without comfort.
It is.
It is a lot better than what I heard from those, what do you call, Buddhists?
Oh, what you heard from the Buddhists? All I had was like flashy vomit vision stuff. It was
What I heard was something along the lines of, do good things move to afterlife karma? And I thought to myself, exactly who was watching me for 600 years on the trash? How rude
look.
that they did not extend a hand.
The Buddhists have this strange idea that if you do good in this life, then your next life will be better. And if you do bad, then you have a worse next life. And eventually you are somehow meant to reach enlightenment, which means you go to best place and stop doing the reincarnate thing. It's not the best idea I've ever heard, but I guess it tries to make people act better.
Reincarnation. Come to think of it, I wouldn't mind if my next life was spent as a coffee machine.
I don't think you'd like that as much as you think, because people like Thaddeus would come along and just pour out coffee and not actually drink it.
To each their own. I cannot drink the coffee either.
Oh, you can, you just do not get the enjoyment like the rest of us. It is unfortunate. Maybe there is some place that does like coffee something add-ons for your chassis.
Coffee something add-on for my chassis.
Duh.
I will put this in the search engine, but I don't expect many results.
Some kind of thing that analyzes the coffee for balance of components.
So
I analyze the coffee for components. Oh well. Yes, Rory?
I was about to try and think of what it was. What's the machine where you put a sample of something inside and it spins around really fast and separates out the components?
Centrifuge.
Yeah, centrifuge. So Pim's coffee tasting is just pour different cups in a centrifuge and then just analyzes the results and goes, this one, I think.
You'd actually probably get a better result with a mass spectrometer.
Ah, yes, good point.
That too.
Okay, so with a decent amount of Brother Dimitri's day just like waxing poetic in the pilot seat with Pim about religion, what is Lockie going to be up to during this time?
I feel like he is like not necessarily doubled down, but like double down on his workout regime, and probably has a picture of Rigby up on the wall that he's been throwing knives at. It's the full, he needs a workout montage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna set up my primitive. Did I buy those? Hang on, they're on my list, so they were the last thing on the list, so I'm not sure if I bought.
Okay. I also believe that.
Okay, if I didn't buy them, but the primitive drone has got racing gravimetrics in it.
Okay.
So it is zipping all over the place, and
Okay,
Here, boy.
sure.
Here,
Zipping
boy.
all over the place and
Throws the ball.
Mm-hmm. I also believe that Dimitri, we agreed that you would spend a decent amount of your time in this transit doing exercise with Lucia and Lockie, and have that count as your training to get your athletic skill from -1 to 0. Oh,
I think Chris's net dropped for a sec.
I'm sure I'll come back. So,
There he is.
all good? Hello?
yeah, I'm back.
There we go.
We can hear him. Yeah.
Okay. So, Dimitri, I think like as you're like training and working out alongside Lucia, you are kind of observing the very focused anger being radiated by Lockie towards this like smug like
Space
orange tanned skin,
Space Chad, yeah.
unnecessarily like white teeth with like hair waving in the breeze. He cares very much about his appearance, so it was just a shot you got from his work profile. Just like pipping knives at this surfer. And just like in this power squat, just like doing all these aggressive lifts of weights. And at the end, like the entire ship just hears this big as the barbells you were just doing weights with, you just like you just pivot them directly at the wall against Rigby's picture.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, He lifts the barbell one hand, and the weights just sort of bend on the barbell until it's like.
It's like there's strong arm on competitions with the strong men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like them circus strong men. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get all kinds of silent and non-judgmental physical and emotional support from Lucia, because she is just like, sure, if we are going to work out, I'm going to work out. It sounds good. And she's just she's very okay with being along for the ride. Right. Who else had things that they were hoping to do during this time?
Yes.
Catalina, what would you like to do?
So in between doing shifts for Tasi, and on her shift she'll actually make sure the machine's working. So she'll keep doing tune-ups on the machine, and things like that, like whatever it needs.
Sure.
It might need at some point, like, its tank, so to speak, to be replaced because it gets full. Whatever it is you decide it needs doing, she does the maintenance on it.
For that, I'd say roll tech post-tech, just to see how well you're able to keep it functionally up time.
If it was to be replaced, I'd help out with that as well.
Of course, but this is just in terms of her like adjusting dials, making fine adjustments to make sure that
Dexterity?
the flow changes. I'd say it would be Dex or Intelligence, whichever you'd rather.
Both are the same.
Indeed, I thought as much. All right, you were able to follow the instructions left by Dr. Charles for maintaining her care and keep the machine humming along very, very nicely.
But other than that, in her like off time, other than sleeping,
Hello?
She's thinking, I expect.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I died again.
No, it's okay. I was trying to figure out the best way to say what I was trying to say. Sorry, I'll figure it out later. Just before we...
Your mouth.
Just before we sort of come to the end of our, like, space travel, and we're going to stop into the next sector, she'll actually get everyone to come out, and she'll call everyone around to the table.
Okay. Just so that people are all aware of what's at their disposal and things like that, I'll go to Darius and Pim quickly because we haven't heard from them during this trip. But then after that, we'll cut back to you and have a conversation.
Because my brain just went dead, so...
Yeah, it's all good. So, Pim or Darius, whoever was hoping to speak first about your travel activities.
I'm integrating my data slab, or data phase tap, into the drone and taking out its observational suite. The other drone I've equipped exactly the same, except instead of the observational suite or the data phase tablet, I've stuck 2 Molotovs in.
Okay.
And the primitive, I don't have the explosives for it, but would a Molotov count as an explosive for a demo pack, or is that specialized?
I would say a Molotov isn't damaging enough to achieve what you can for.
Okay, cool. Yep, no issues.
Well then, just go ahead and give me a tech post-tech roll, because like to see how well you can do this.
Considering I would know that it would require tech post-tech, and that I'm not the most skilled at it, could I ask people for help as well?
Well, most of what you're doing is the equivalent of like It's like you bought the parts to like a model kit and are piecing it together, because the way drones are designed is pretty straightforward that way. But the whole like you making Molotovs as bombs and trying to figure out a way to have like an ignition mechanism and then a dropping mechanism would require some help. I feel like Pim could be of assistance.
Oh, it's a bomb bay.
Pim could not be of
something that I've bought as equipment for it.
Oh, you can. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well then it would probably just be the form of ignition then, because you need to rig up some kind of spark inside to get it to work.
Yep. Intelligence?
Yep, intelligence with
9.
All right. It takes you. It does take you a few tries to get it quite right, but you're careful and don't actually load up the Molotovs until you're confident that it's going to work as intended. But yeah, during the trip, you're able to assemble all of your drones and make all the modifications you indicated.
Sick. And
Okay.
I can put the data face tap in the other one?
I'd say with a 9, yes, you're able to do that, but it's now not functional as like a hand portable device anymore. It's just been refitted for the drone.
Yeah, unless I literally carry the drone around.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
All good. Okay, Pim, how about you?
I am mostly spending my time supervising the crew to make sure they're all okay, and on-off moments I will be working on the nanites.
Okay. I feel like there might end up being a moment in between Pim and Lucky, especially if his anger gets the best of him during his like rage-induced training sessions, and yeah, that might be a concerning thing to watch.
I would still watch. If no one's hurt and the ship isn't damaged, I'm going to let him vent his frustration.
Fair enough. Just like seeing Lucky like stomping back and forth in the cargo bay. It makes me sad.
But do I make a Maltech intelligence roll for the nanites?
If you are carrying on your work with them, then yes, by all means. See how much further you can progress towards controlling them.
Not bad. 9.
Not bad at all. You are making decent strides and are managing to piece together rudimentary test code that you will need to apply. You aren't sure how best to administer this code, but for the time being, you're scanning them, trying to get an understanding of how they work, and just piecing together code that you think might work. You haven't tried it, but it's so
Would
far.
I be able to start creating and designing my own nanites?
No, definitely not.
No. Cool.
That's way beyond anything that
Currently have on the ship.
that anybody has access to in this time period right now.
Cool. Because I sort of like next case, if these didn't work, then I could just create similar nanites to these ones with the same protocols I was thinking of.
No,
Actually, I think there is an example which is a form of very, very, very simple Tagger nanites, which is a what do you call it? Tagger nanites are actually nanite factories that it can be used as cyberware. Sorry?
As an item, yes.
Yeah.
Tagger nanites does sound familiar. Where's my book?
I think it's tech level 4. I'll quickly check that for you. Don't worry about looking it up, I will.
Yeah, sure thing. That does sound familiar to me, so I suppose it's just a question of what tech level they are. Right. In the meantime, though, we can cut across to, I'd say, you guys are a few hours out of jumping out of drive space, and Catalina has called for a crew meeting around the dining room.
What I was trying to say earlier is I was helping Pim repair his suits in my day.
Yes.
Yeah. My brain completely spaced on what I was trying to say before.
Yeah. Good point. Pim, I assume you were intending to repair your Voyager, which was yeah. That wouldn't take you much longer than one full day. So like I think about 26 to 27 hours of work. And if you're going to repair them, make sure you mark off the components that you use to get them operational again from your list.
Yeah, it's 500 there, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Tagger nanites, tech level 4. While true nanotechnology is beyond the grasp of standard tech level 4 science, this cyber allows for the implementation of very simple nanofactories in the user that exude a constant, imperceptible smart dust. Anything the user touches by these nanods can generate more of their kind for up to 48 hours while tagging. The dust lays a trail that is visible only to the user, and the dust can be pinged by radio to anyone within 5 kilometers, but adds system strain every time you use it. So
Okay.
it's a tracking device, effectively.
I'll have to think about the potential applications of that. But if you can find a place to sell them, then perhaps you can work with them to try something. Yes, I will for sure give that some thought if that's something you wish to pursue, Pim.
This
Okay.
is all speculation, but yeah, carry on.
That's fair enough. So, it's time for a crew meeting, everybody, says Kathleen Arcee.
I'll come up on the
Actually,
holographic.
she'll probably like go and personally either. Yeah, she'll go and find everyone. Like, do you mind coming to table room for a minute? I would like to talk to everyone. It's okay. And that's like pretty much the message that she gives to everyone.
Yep.
Did you finish that one?
Yeah, sure, no worries.
So once everyone.
What? You want me to leave home in charge of Pim to come to this thing? Sure, I will be there shortly.
I mean, I would like Pim to be here too, but I suppose someone.
He can
has to...
multitask
sorry.
better than.
I
Well,
am
he
in
can
a small
multitask
ship,
to a point.
therefore I can be everywhere at once, Catalina.
Right. Okay. Well, just letting you know you're hopefully.
Yeah, everywhere like my toilet.
What?
At your shower. He watches you while you sleep. He says you smell different at night. I didn't know what he meant.
Yeah, for the first time, Lockie has questions.
So once everyone's at the table. Sorry, were you gonna say something, Chris?
Not important.
I'll come out of the med bay, but I'm literally like holding a compad, and as you like get everyone seated, I've got the compad in front of me.
Yeah.
That's fine. She knows that you got to still look after Tasi.
Yeah, I'm simultaneously looking over Dr. Charles's shoulder, hacking the coffee machine to make me coffee, and for having the drone float in front of Lockie's face and just like checking him out at the same time.
I'll check him out.
No, just seeing how he's going because it can detect the observational suite can detect micro expression.
Okay.
So, Lockie, what kind of heart rate and micro expression do you think you would be holding on to in this meeting?
He's probably just come from training, so his heart rate's probably
Elevated.
it was started to calm down until the drone started flying in front of his head annoyingly and starting to go back up again. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, he's probably worked out a lot of the frustration at the moment. I mean, he's still in that constant level of I just want to break that guy's face. But yeah, he can interact socially with people.
Sure.
No frustration. I'll just put my hand up and the primitive will come back to it, and I'll just go, "My bad, just checking on you."
It's like heart rate's elevating, and he taps on the drone and says, "Look over there, an eagle." And as the drone spins around in confusion, trying to work out when the eagle is, he punches it.
You realize the drone's intelligence is my intelligence, and I'm focusing on 3 different things at the same time. So
you don't know what an eagle is either, so that's fine.
fair enough.
Catalina, the intent behind the meeting?
So, I know we're kind of in the middle of something. We've got passengers on board to do a mission, and we have kind of like, signed up to help them with some treasure delving or something. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember, to be perfectly honest. But, a thing. And that's okay, that'll take us some time, and then we need, and then we're helping
Catalina.
Loki. Duh?
Get to it.
Shh. I will get there. Give me a minute. Just, we're helping Loki with his friend, and I assume finding your old crew for various nefarious reasons. This is all fine and good, but this is something I probably should have talked to you very long time ago. Well, not very long, but a while ago. I need to go to Kupi. Cupid. It's not too far from where we are right now, but it is out of the way of where we are right now. I need to go there for things that are very complicated to explain. But I wasn't sure if we could go as crew or if I should go on myself.
Well, you got my support.
Thank you, Loki.
You had my back, I've got yours.
What, sorry? You roboted out for a while.
Sorry. I need to go to QP. It's a little bit out of the way, but not far from where we are.
Are we doing that after the excavation with Maximilian?
I think we need to do the excavation
I
first.
think we would have to do this first. Is obligation for our name, you know?
I'm sort of just like...
We are low on money. At least I am.
I have a bit of a plan to make some, but it might cost some too. It's a bit more of a gamble.
Are we going to...
We had like 3,000 credits to just throw away.
Sorry?
What? I have 3,000 credits to just throw away.
Good to know.
Either way, I will stay with you until we finish this mission, but...
Are you going to tell us what is need?
Is long story, but best little story I can tell is I received message from friend that they have information for me, but is on QP, so I wish to go retrieve it so that I can find out what has happened to them. It was some time ago, and I did not think it would be possible because it was so far away from where we were. But since we're now much closer, I feel a very big need to go past there.
Am I aware of any? Am I aware of any information networks on QP?
Hang on. Where did I put those notes? Roll culture immersion.
Catalina,
Da?
if you want her help, why not just ask?
I do not wish to inconvenience. I would love help, but I do not wish for...
I think you would be surprised. I think you would be very surprised to say, please help me.
11.
Okay, hang on.
I don't, you know... It is very personal request.
I am learning too.
Pim. Pim, on our planet we are taught to be as self-sufficient as possible.
Could I also make an insight or history check? Insight on Catalina or history on messages that she sent out, because I'm probably aware of them, to see if I know exactly what she's talking about.
It was... yeah, if you succeed, I will send you the message that I sent out.
Yes. Also to answer your first question, no, you don't know of any operations on QP that are that nature. So yeah, roll computer. And Catalina, I will have you.
Is this computer's wisdom? I would say.
I think that kind of makes sense. And
because it's observational, not intelligence.
Yeah, and Catalina, you can also roll computers with a +1.
That's a 10.
To see how well the encryption that you and your people used holds up to his investigation.
Intelligence?
Yes. You are able to obtain the information that she received and sent out. The encryption is something that you probably studied it in your past on Yakuta, but this is a more advanced version that's evolved several generations beyond when you encountered it. Yeah, if Alice is able to send over the message.
I sent it to you a long while ago.
Yeah. So I've got a hard copy as well.
But I think it's more a matter of whether he remembers me sending it, like whether he would remember the message.
That's a good point, actually.
So
It's not often that my crew send out encryptions without asking me.
It wasn't necessarily encrypted.
It was just. It was encoded by use of words.
Yeah.
Just it's double speak.
Yeah.
It was double
So
speak.
yeah, more like thieves can.
Okay. Well, send it if you reckon I would, and don't if you don't.
No. I'm just gonna send you the letter that I sent, and you can make what you want to make of it.
Okay.
I can't remember if I sent it to you on Discord or on Facebook. I think I sent it to you on Facebook.
Yes, I think so too.
No, just Facebook it to me then.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Damn, that's
Takes a lot of
going to be what I was about to say. But...
Sorry, what?
It was going to influence what I was about to say. So
it was a letter to an aunt, general mumbo jumbo of like how things are going.
In that case, I'm just going to look directly at you and say, I'm pretty sure you don't have an aunt, Catalina.
I mean, I did once.
Yes, well, come on, what's this about?
Yes. Oh yeah, I should say the name of the file was Aunt Sweetie.
That's right.
Yes, Aunt Sweetie.
I have a sweet tooth too, but I highly doubt anyone's going to actually be called that.
Reading my letters again, are you?
No, I didn't read it, but I saw it.
I'm just trying to find it still, because like I
Don't
need to
worry about
remember
it.
what was in it.
Don't worry about it. Just move on.
We do exchange words. Hang on.
There we go. I found it. This is the message, and I'll send it to you, Chris.
Can you send it to me as well, just as a reminder?
Yeah. I sent it on Discord.
Cool.
Chris, I've
Can you
sent
send
it
it
to
to
you
me
on Facebook.
just because?
No, fuck you. There you go.
Maybe Charles would like to see it as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay,
So-
is meeting over? Can I go back to playing basketball or trying very hard?
Who are the neighbors, Catalina?
You are the neighbors. Not specifically you, but
No, from what you wrote here, I hope the neighbors aren't troubling you too much, and the family as well. Who are the neighbors?
I do not wish to tell too much because it's not all mine to tell, but you would know, and I'm sure we have worked together with them before, with you. The family is the resistance on Yakuta.
Right, so why are we playing this guessing game? If you want help, we go.
It's not guessing game. I only say I need to go to QP because they have information for me. If you can come and help, is great. I would love this, but I don't want to be in trouble. If I am in trouble, I will go myself and I will join you later.
No.
At this, I actually stand up and I look very, very angry and distressed and just go, fine, and just walk out of the room.
Oh.
Yes, you have insulted his something.
I don't know.
I think maybe he thinks that you should know him well enough by now that anytime you're in trouble that he will help you.
I know.
We all will help you.
Is not what I'm used to.
Oh no, you were meant to. You were used to being like on wrong planet, doing wrong thing, for right reason.
Very used to look after self because the next person might be your death.
I know.
Is not favorite place to live, just saying.
No. Ideally, we would have stayed on Habona and not been touched by Yakuta at all. But it was not meant to be because Yakuta are fucks.
Something like this.
Not good fucks either, just fucks.
So it sounds like you're hoping that the rest of the crew will be prepared to go to QP with you, or are just like testing the waters in regards to that.
More just testing the waters because this is out of character, but she will be finding her own way to QP if everyone else doesn't seem all too interested after we've completed our next mission, or this mission.
I will move the map over to the sector map.
Yeah, so we
Just-
can see where
Just
everything is.
to give people context, so you guys are not too far away from arriving in this sector, which is Hex 407, which contains Igelia. This planet over here is QP. So if you were to take a direct path there, it would require 4 jumps and would be about a month's travel. If you chose to take a safer path, which was by traveling along the charted courses, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps, which would take you about a month and a half to travel the distance more safely than just going straight there.
Wait, where are we currently?
We'd also have nothing
You
to
are
fuel.
South.
You are a few hours out of jumping out of drive space here.
Yeah, no.
So really, we had to come the way we came anyway if we were going to follow the safe route, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
That's how we justified going that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you had refueled on Sukitra, you wouldn't have needed to land on Koundouriotis or to do things like that. So that occurred.
But we would have need to have gone.
We also
for
didn't
ship
know the
repairs
entire
anyway.
thing was surrounded by pirates.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have required ship repairs if you didn't try and go to the planet to get fuel. You could have jumped into the solar system and then immediately jumped out again if you had the fuel to do it.
Semantics.
Yeah, that's fine. Things happened.
But it was more just a matter of like Catalina just letting the crew know that this is her intention. She'd like everyone to be able to come with her, but doesn't expect it.
Real quick, what was the contract for these scientists from Alpha?
The contract was that you take them from Alphys to Igelia, and you assist them in entering into making safe and cataloging whatever is found.
Bodyguard work for Indiana Jones, effectively.
The specifics of when the site becomes made safe and is all clear, that decision is left up to the discretion of Maximilian Napier, so he's the one who ultimately decides when you guys get paid.
But there's no clause in the contract that says we have to return them to Alphys afterwards.
No, it's just you drop him off and make it safe, and then help him begin his work. Then he will continue it by himself in a safe environment.
Okay,
he's not-
so
That should be easy.
now that that's done, probably point I should mention to you, which I will pass on to Darius later, I suppose, because he has gone, and so has Pim apparently to the ship. But I walked in a little bit ago to the our passengers, and they were having a weird silent argument.
I do have one of my drones still sitting in the room.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Just
know
like-
that.
You're just somewhere sulking physically, but are watching.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. In that case.
Rory, would I recognize this behavior from my time in the Psy Academy?
Well, you could ask me about the behavior. I could describe it.
I mean, based on the very small amount of information that was just given to you by Kathleen, I'd say make a general intelligence roll perhaps with a culture alphys, to see if you are able to put some pieces together.
I mean, they were like having silent conversation.
Yes.
You're pretty sure it was a telepathic conversation.
At that point, I'm just like,
You know,
Kalina,
they were like
how were they
waving
acting?
their arms around, staring really angry at each other, like they have big argument, but no words.
Were they
You
sweating
could
profusely
feel
afterwards?
the tension in the room. It was kind of intense.
Were they sweating profusely afterwards?
I didn't stay long enough to notice.
I think I've witnessed this before at the Psi Academy back on Elptus. I'm pretty sure that the people downstairs are actually telepaths.
That
Like
would
our
have been
friend,
convenient to know
Far's
before.
assistant.
Dr. Charles, a thing you would know about, at the very least, low-level telepathy is there's a certain technique you can use where there only needs to be one telepath, and a psychic link can be established between multiple people, allowing them to converse as though they were
There's
talking.
at least one psychic downstairs.
At least one psychic telepath down there.
We need to keep an eye on them.
Duh, probably. But
Should I wear tinfoil hat?
it's not point
That won't
of
help.
what I was trying to tell. Is probably concerned that, but what I was more concerned about was the details they didn't seem to tell us before we took the mission, which was that they were on rocky terms in their permission to come aboard the planet to investigate the dig site. So, in our delay, they are concerned that they will not be allowed to still keep up same promise that they had before because was already rocky and now is delayed. They changed mind, blah 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 blah. So I just thought I might let you know we may have to do some convincing.
I think we have the right mix of people and equipment to convince people.
His was just heads up, that's all.
Oh, thank you for heads up.
Duh.
Oh, wait, what am I saying? Thank you. Spasiba.
Duh.
If I don't use the language of our homeland, I will forget it. It is not good.
Duh.
Indeed. And at that moment, I believe a small chirping noise comes from the main console that indicates that the spike jump is nearing completion. Which Pim, who's also keeping an eye on things, could intercept and just say.
Beep boop.
Have we lost?
Beep boop.
There we
Exit
are.
code. Cockpit.
There we are.
Okay, I will return to cockpit. Let's make jumpy for next sector.
You've already made the one jump that you needed. It was. It was.
Got to point us at the planet now.
It was
Okay, then we make jumpy for planet jumpy to land in planet.
exactly.
Land in planet?
Yeah,
No, I don't want to land in planet.
Why not? It is fun. Scares the shit out of people. I did it once.
As you check the helm, adjust more knobs and dials, and slowly cycle down the spike drives, and you arrive in hex 407 and see the planet of Igelia off in the distance. It will take you 2 more days of travel to get from the edge of the sector to the planet, but I would like Dimitri to make me a culture roll. What kind of culture skills do you have access to, Dimitri?
Just Hibona, I think.
Okay, just roll me... not Spacer?
No. Do I have space?
How do I have spacer and you don't?
Because I have skills in other things.
Indeed. You have combat gunnery, which is nice.
Yeah, it's been handy.
Okay. Then make me either a culture spacer or a culture criminal roll with intelligence.
That is not bad.
Ooh, pretty solid. I believe that you have been, you likely would have in your past spent a decent amount of time on Edgeley, and I think the closer we get to Harbona, the more likely that you've been to planets and have more of an interaction with them. So a thing that you would know specifically about your arrival to this planet is you're about to be pretty aggressively shaken down by organized crime.
This place again.
Like when you were a co-pilot, you saw firsthand that security ships arrived and shook down your shuttle for security payment to keep things secure, and then once you landed, you were absolutely fleeced for docking charges, and then you were fleeced again for like fuel and repairs. It seems that organized crime is pretty pervasive on this planet. However, you know of a solution. If you take like a portion of the money that they would fleece you for at these individual steps and request an audience with a member of the family who is responsible for like space activities, you can like pay your respects, pay him, and not have to worry about all these other like small piecemeal charges, which together would add up to a much larger fee.
Okay, so I just go straight to the man at the top.
Mm-hmm. So after about like a day and a half of travel, you're kind of in the range of hailing the big man. I think you would know of this individual as well because on future visits you saw someone do this correctly, and kind of acquired the basics for this. It seems the person that you have to hail, his name is Fu Huang.
Fu Huang, yes.
He is a young lad who is quite tall, and as you saw, like on your face-to-face meeting, he seems to carry a lot of like sharp implements on his person, like kind of in the coat of his like nice snazzy business blazer. And so if you want, you can hail him and request an audience for the whole like kiss the ring, flamboyant sucking up.
Oh, like. Okay, this place again. These guys are pizzas. I need to call a man, and I need to do something slightly unpleasant and kiss his ring on his finger. And then maybe
what other ring were you thinking we might think you might want to kiss?
Well, it is never mind. Anyway, it's a shithole of criminal activity scum people, and what is word? They like to just take all your money for just made up bullshit reasons.
So criminal.
Yes, but there is criminal and there is criminal. Like some people just like steal because they need to survive, and these people steal because they want all your money. What is the greedy asshole? Yes, there you go.
It's a racket.
Oh, voice from Sky says it's a racket. He's criminal family. Criminal family controls whole planet.
Okay. If you are going to be the one making this call, what do you say?
Ring ring fu huang.
Mm-hmm.
It is I, Brother Dimitri. You and I have met before. I would like to land on your planet. I have some passengers who they tell us they are on expedition and that they have permission to land and look at some culture site or some such.
Okay.
Yes, when is good time for meeting? Like, I would rather speak directly to you than deal with 36 individuals before I see you. You know how it is.
I do indeed. I'm just gonna. I choose you.
I should.
So you get this.
Apparently, this guy's a Pokemon.
I realized it had been quite quiet the entire time, so I've played some audio. If it'll start. Space music. Space music. I'm sure it's just loading. Anyway, so you send this out not as a hail, but just as a message, and wait for somebody to like pick it up and respond. And after waiting kind of sheepishly for a few minutes, the person accepts the line, and you hear, "Brother Dimitri."
Oh, hi. It is nice to hear your voice. We have not seen each other in some time.
No, we have not. What has kept you?
You know how it is in space travel. It takes time to move around, and I'm not always on the same route.
Of course. Are you going to be paying me a visit?
Oh, I would love to pay you a visit. Anytime I come to this planet, you are the first person I want to see.
I appreciate your loyalty, Brother Dimitri. Please. I will send you a code to talk with my space station.
Excellent. I thank you. I shall see you presently.
See you soon, Brother Dimitri. And he hangs up.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
And you asked me to call
The guys, it's organized crime. That's how all organized criminals sound, right?
Not all of them.
Oh boy. Sorry, guys. I ran this.
It's either that, or you sound like I do, and you are talking to
I got the cotton balls.
So I ran this previously with other people, and I forgot about the fact that this planet is pretty predominantly Chinese, and that's the voice I chose for the Don and his family. So I was tossing on whether or not to stick with the voice, choose a new one. But I can't say no to this voice.
He learned to speak. He learned to speak common from somebody else.
Yes, he learned to speak common by watching the archive films of The Godfather.
No.
Okay.
Sounds appropriate.
So you are a few hours out from your arrival. You've kind of been through the motions of this meeting before, where it's just come in,
bow a lot,
like kiss his ass, just debase yourself to make him feel like a big man, and then just go about on your merry way when you've paid him the protection money.
Which is?
I'd say it's about 2,000 credits.
Okay, 3,000 credits it is.
Okay. Yes, the going rate that people normally paid was 2,000, but they were flying smaller ships, and you suspect, yeah.
Oh no, it is not that. It is also, it is gift.
Yes, it's gift.
I look after him, he look after me.
That's how it works.
And then we don't have to have conversation about John Wick.
So, so you plot in these new coordinates and make your way towards his space station that sits in orbit, and are able to dock no issue. As you arrive, it's a very sleek and elegant affair. Most space stations are pretty basic and have been battered, but this one hasn't really needed to be used for planetary defense. It's clearly just style points and to flex on people who are coming to the planet. And of course there's a variety of other fighters and smaller ships that use Sumar maintaining security around
every other ship except ours.
Yep. So you're able to dock. Are you going to inform the party of this engagement?
I'm just going to inform party that hey, attention everybody. This is the captain speaking. Just be very careful who you get into drinking games with while on station, because they are just as likely to stab you in the back and steal all your stuff.
I think I'll be fine.
Take you to meet their friends who will stab you in the back and steal all your stuff.
It's about normal.
It is about normal, but it is maybe just a bit worse.
Okay.
I can
Anyway,
see this
I
happening.
should just tell them you were with gloved Molotov and that Fu Huang is our friend, and they should leave you alone.
Indeed. So you were able to make your way through the ship and arrive at the airlock, open it up, and there is a very finely dressed, tall Chinese man just standing there, and he just gives you a stiff nod and gestures for you to come aboard.
I incline my head and I follow him. Or
Yep.
walk in front of him, whatever.
Yep. As you proceed in about 20 feet, you can see two more guys. You've seen this before. The guy has the magnetic scanner wand and gives you a cursory pat down and goes and takes your revolver and just leaves it here for the time being and gestures for you to continue.
No, at least my motor blade on, but takes my revolver.
Yes.
Oh yes, that is the other thing.
Hmm?
No projectile weapons, but they're quite fine for you to have blades, because gentlemen fight with blades.
Indeed, they do.
I stay on the ship.
That's fair.
I have a patient to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
So none of y'all get in trouble because I'm not going to be there to save you.
So,
I will be coming aboard. Out of curiosity, how much health would I have healed by now?
I'd say you're on full at this stage because you could have gained up to a max of 30 in the 10 days of travel you've had. So I'd say you are fine.
I also would have been looking him over for injuries and stuff. And every now and again, just go, heal.
So I will be coming along for support.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay, so
with 2 drones.
Lucky, are you going to be in your assault suit or just in your regular kit?
Just in my regular armor, not power armor or anything like that.
Okay.
I feel like it's too much of a statement to walk in full power armor.
Yeah.
Are we taking Maximilian and stuff with us?
If you ask, because you pass by him on the way, he says, no, I pay the Don on the planet.
Oh, okay. So we need to get you onto planets, not just onto space station. Okay, that is fine. Maybe while we're here, we just get some fuel and maybe see what is for sale.
I'd say Catalina would join. No. No, Catalina will stay behind the ship to make sure that Charles and the others are protected.
Okay.
Okay, the food here is really nice, but it is heavily emphasizes noodles.
Mm-hmm.
And what is little short white rice? They also like lots of rice.
Indeed. So you get that's okay, guys.
We lost him.
That's fine. So
It's okay. Pim is on the ship with me. We are doing ship things.
Yeah. It's all good. So you Lockie also get your own cursory pat down, as does Darius. Dimitri is correct. You are allowed to keep bladed weapons on you, but not larger firearms.
Okay.
It's kind of a point of pride in the society that a man should be able to protect himself, but should be able to look his opponent in the eye as he's doing it.
Right. He'll do that, the comical thing of putting down several weapons before finally going in.
I'll pull the assault rifle off, this laser rifle off the drone. Do they know the Molotovs inside the other one?
Do they know?
Well, I would assume not. They're inside it.
They are inside it, but you did say that you bought an off-the-shelf bomb bay attachment for this one. So I'll just roll. I'll roll and see if this guy is savvy enough with his drone tech to recognize it. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Jesus Christ!
I'll just roll my eyes and then wave behind me, and they both go back to the ship.
Okay. Are you going in armed, Darius? Do you have a bladed weapon?
No.
Okay. Cool.
We are not here to cause trouble. It should be okay.
I don't. Oh, actually, do I own a knife?
I don't know. Do you own a knife? We can buy one for you while we're here. It is fine.
Do I own a standard knife?
Okay, then. Cool.
Dimitri, while you're out, can you get
I'm
me a
asking,
knife?
would I own one?
Can I buy you a what?
A knife. I gave my one away.
And you were given a really fine replacement by Dr. Charles.
Was I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you
No,
actually
I'm
gave that to me?
asking.
Okay, sorry.
I'm asking, do I own a knife at all?
If you have like a survival kit, that contains a knife. So if you have one of those.
No.
If you don't have one, Lockie will flip out the knife from his survival kit and pass it to you.
No, I was just curious as if I had it.
That's all good. So
Actually, considering who I am, I'd probably look at it and go, come on, look at me. I'm skinny as fuck. I'm not going to be able to stab someone.
Doesn't matter if you're skinny. If you get it between the joints here, right here, it'll do the job.
I sort of frown slightly and then just, yeah, all right. Take it and pocket it.
okay. So the three of you proceed onto the station, onto his like audience chamber, I suppose you put it. It's a very grandiose affair. There's lots of like fine, like classical columns with like draping rich red silk, like hanging from between them, and there's a very like well-appointed plush chair that's just at the head of this. I suppose you'd call it throne room as well, where he's just sitting. Like
a nice looking chair on a low dais, but the dais is still higher than the rest of the floor. So
yeah, like, and he's just like casually playing with like the largest ring on his finger that you have to kiss. And you're like,
is this the day of his daughter's wedding?
No, this is just normal every day for him.
I don't know what you're talking about. So you walk into the chamber and he says, Brother Dimitri, it is good to see you. Who are these friends?
These are my... Sorry for interrupting, but these are my friends. These are my traveling companions. I thought I should bring them on board your beautiful space station so they could have a taste of culture after long months traveling.
You do me great honor, Brother Dimitri. Please, the two of you, introduce yourselves.
I'm Lucky.
Hello, Lucky. And you?
Darius.
Well, it seems your friends have a lot to learn about manners from you, Brother Dimitri.
Yes, they are not quite as cultured as I. Definitely not as cultured as you, my friend.
Oh, stop.
Okay.
Right.
I have a small gift for you.
Oh, really? You didn't have to.
Oh, but I do. Every time I see you, I think I must give that man a gift, for he is great. It does me great honor.
Well, if you insist. And he like gestures for you to come forwards.
I walk forwards. I kneel down on one knee because, I only need to do one knee.
Mm-hmm. He presents one hand for the ring kissing and presents the other hand for the cred stick. It's the standard posture.
Yeah. I kneel and kiss his ring, and then I give him his cred stick, and then I bow and then I back away.
Yes. It is always a pleasure doing business with such fine fellows such as yourself. I do hope I'll be able to find the time to visit planets while you are present. Perhaps we can party.
party with feng shui. Fu Huang, that would be a, I think, which is not great honor. Although like, it would be great honor also, but I think it would be a great time.
Oh, you're telling me. I've heard the stories about you.
Shh. I have appearances to keep up.
Oh, it was lovely to see you, but I don't want to keep you, Dimitri. Please, if you have somewhere to be.
Oh no, we are just going to. I'm going to show my friends some of the lovely food that you have on your station, and I think then we need to visit the planet.
Of course, yes. The dining hall is yours to do with as you wish.
Thank you, thank you. I bid you a good day.
Good day to you. And he kind of gives like a bit of a stink eye to Darius and Lockie, who nearly is polite.
Oh, yeah. Anyway. Anyway, as we exit, I'm like, that is Fu Huang. He's the station master, kind of.
He seems corrupt.
Well, he's just corrupt as fuck. But if you cross him, you die. So it is better to not cross him.
I thought I was pretty friendly.
Yeah.
You need to like add a few more words when you like present yourself. Okay, that was practice run. Now you have a more important one on planet if you wish.
If you like,
I'll get some pointers. Pleasantries weren't exactly a big thing on my planet.
Well, on my planet they are quite direct, but on my planet they're quite direct. But when you fly around space, you learn stuff. It is better to learn quickly than to get stabbed.
Fair.
Yes, very true. And if you feel like you guys are able to take advantage of his beautiful catering, and even if you like take some bags to go for the rest of the crew to enjoy.
On planet, will we be able to get my drones on? I think we can probably look at earning a bit of money towards your mech suit.
Yeah, let's try it out.
Should be able to. Like the rules on the planet are they're more relaxed than up here.
Right. You can tell that. Actually, Dimitri can probably tell because he's got higher wisdom, doesn't he?
Oh, probably not. Higher wisdom than you.
Okay. You can tell I'm just making excuses because I want to go and drone fight. Like, yeah, totally. I'll go towards earning money for your mech suit. You can have the money, but honestly, I'm just there for.
I know. I see what you want to do. Yeah. Look. Yes. There is plenty of that thing that you might be looking for, to do with those things that you have flying around your head.
Fair enough. I thought it could be fun. Plus, I'm not sure most people would have theirs equipped quite like I do.
Indeed.
No. Well, maybe. Like, guy in entryway knew exactly what you had, but I don't think he's common.
Fair.
Indeed. So after a nice hearty meal and some to-go bags, you guys are able to step back onto the glove Molotov and make your way back towards the planet.
Have you had these things? I think they call them prawn crackers, but I'm not sure what exactly they are made of. But they're kind of crunchy and have an interesting flavor.
I'm not a fan. It tastes stale.
Hey, food, get down. He'll just like grab a whole handful.
Yeah, I'm just like picking through them and eating them, but looking kind of disgusted as I do so.
Not a fan of Chinese food, is Darius?
Not really.
Oh, that's too bad.
You don't like the prawn crackers? You would definitely not like the crispy pig ear then.
I don't know. That sounds closer to what we would usually eat.
No, okay, well, I have a bag here. Try it.
What is crispy pig ear? Yeah, he'd probably eat that.
It's like deep fried pig ears.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
it's
closer
a
to
treat
Middle
you give
Eastern
dogs.
cuisine. Yeah, no, it's closer to Middle Eastern cuisine. No, those are dried pig ears, dehydrated.
Yeah, same shit, different smell, man.
Mhm.
Well, you wouldn't
Not
be able to
really.
eat that as a human.
Just because it's
It'd be closer to pork crackle
Yeah, no, I'd totally eat that.
texture.
Okay. Now, guys, I have a bit of box text for you guys, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up for this week because we are at 10. But I'd just like you guys to know exactly what you are getting yourself in for.
terrifying.
As the ship disengages from the station and begins to make its final approach to Igelia, you notice like it's very apparent that the entire planet's atmosphere is kind of like a caustic, sickly, orangey yellow color. And as you begin making your initial entry, you are reminded very abruptly that this planet has a corrosive atmosphere. As a result of this, the port control are very, very quick to send you the procedures are going to take to make it so that your ship has as little time as possible exposed to this atmosphere. And as you're going through, it's bumping and shaking something fierce as this like nasty orange gas is blasting past the windows. You are able to make your approach though. The terrain itself is kind of like a pretty unpleasant looking mountain range. It is a region where you are coming into land. There are some valleys and troughs, but it's pretty bare bones, rocky and mountainous as you approach. And the place where you are arriving is kind of, it appears to be a large set of reinforced doors, slick with some gooey substance that begins to crack open as you approach. And as you fly in and land, you realize why it is that people made their home here. Let me do the thing. That's not what I meant, but it's a good stepping stone. Boom. Okay, you see in front of you that there is only one major settlement on this planet built out of a ruined site of a bygone alien race. This site is a large open cavern made of an old hard stone with various columns spread throughout providing support. These columns are decorated with mysterious carvings of this ancient race, like depicting themselves and their culture, but have also been used to run cables and some now very battered, old-looking festival decorations that hang crisscross from this cavernous space. The majority of the structures in the city, including large spans of the floor, are made of repurposed transit containers, including for use as homes and businesses. In fact, the homes look like apartment structures with dozens of them packed together to form tiered living. Catwalks and walkways hug the sides of these buildings and run to and fro to allow movement. In the center of a large square, you see a hole venting humid air, surrounded by lush trees. It seems that they have a below ground like plant-based O2 system in this place, and the plants are kind of spilling out onto the residential areas. You also see several other plumes of this moist air coming up from below, and as you guys disembark, it makes the entire cavern feel very humid and sticky as a result of it not working.
It is moist.
It is moist. Next to this main vent, there is a very active and bustling marketplace with loud music playing from a street corner as people move about shopping and trading. It also looks as though a group of children are playing with a toy drone and laughing in delight as it whizzes between the stalactites that hang above. That's where you guys are now. Welcome to Igelia.
Seems like a shithole.
My reaction's the absolute opposite. I'm just like, this is cool. I like this place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
From your perspective, Dr. Charles, yes, this place is super sketchy. And you are...
Every other planet we've been on is super sketchy and a shithole. Let's be honest.
Also, you are going to have a hard time maintaining your like crisp and clean appearance with the suits because as soon as you disembark, you feel the need to like loosen the tie, undo some collar buttons.
I literally like take a step outside and go, oh look, Tasi needs some help. Walk back inside.
Yeah. So this is actually you guys, and I think we are going to call it there for this week because it is 10:08, and I think that's when we stop.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have someone to raid today?
Oh, yes, good point.
Unless anyone from the audience has someone to raid.
Do we have an audience?
Huh? Yeah, we've got an audience. We always have an audience.
Yeah, but how big
Yeah,
is it?
14 people watching at the moment.
Yeah.
14.
10.
That's pretty cool.
14 people. Hello, I am pleased that you
I have the Aussie guy that we were raiding last week, I think, who was playing Final Fantasy 14 at the moment.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, good lord. Jesus.
Sick.
Oh, the
Kings
game
and
storm is
turn-based
still up.
games Decided to appear again.
Sorry?
Kings and turn-based Dave decided to appear again.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so did
Turn-based Dave disappeared.
Blood Dungeon
Neon.
Master.
Neon was here as well.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and Tim popped in at the end here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There's some other names in there I don't recognize, like Trank Hand 12, Universe, Thicker.
That's all right.
It's
You people are always
Yeah, no.
welcome.
exactly. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have been directing any comments at me, forgive me, but I like to focus on the game and so forth.
We didn't get a bingo. We got very close.
Didn't get a bingo. What?
Very
What do you
All
need?
you needed was for Charles to be like, I see.
No, we needed Darius to sniff some coffee.
Darius didn't sniff coffee all episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh,
It would have been a
Darius must
two-way
be
bingo
sick.
too.
damn.
Okay,
Okay,
so if we had blown something up, that would also have worked.
lovely. So who shall we raid, guys? We've got some options.
Well, it's up to you guys. All I do is pass the raid on.
GameStormers are still
Do you want to
going.
raid your Aussie guy again? GameStormers is going still. They are on 7 at the moment.
Well, let's
Oh.
raid them because they don't have many viewers at the moment.
Yeah, sure thing. Sounds good.
That's telling me they've got 10, but
Hmm.
10,
That's
7,
cool.
7.
That's still
I
us
just
being
updated
helpful.
it.
It's alright, we raided them last week, so we'll raid these guys this week, and we'll raid them again next week if we got no one else, yeah?
Cool.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
Uh,
We shall be back next week with more space shenanigans, and the party are going to end up accompanying a very zany alien scientist into a mysterious cavern. And who knows what they're going to find.
Or are they?
Bum, bum, bum. No, seriously, it's fine. I actually haven't finished writing the dungeon yet. I'm pretty close. I've got some holes that I want to patch up and smooth out. But
He's like, I'm not sure if I've put enough armed soldiers in there for you to kill or be killed by. Or enough poison vents with knockout gas.
how many
Poison vents!
how many rusty metal spikes do I have? 20? Some more. Yeah, some more.
I am terrified all of a sudden.
This sounds like a place that Charles will not want to go into.
He's not one of those.
He's not one of those archaeologist type scientists. He likes actual labs with equipment,
Yeah, but
cleanliness.
if you don't go in, all your stupid crew members.
I know they're gonna get hurt.
Oh
Yes.
my god, that echo is terrible.
Oh, it's just because he's yelling really loudly.
Yeah, because he's like, this is my normal speaking voice. And I'm thinking to myself, no, it fucking isn't.
Oh boy.
Because he's like, put your
While I'm in
that.
character, it's my normal speaking voice.
No.
I was speaking like Charles.
Speak like Charles. Charles.
yes, measure your tone.
I
So,
assume there's going to be plenty of weapon shops on planet anyway, so I'm just
Sure.
Oh yes, it's a Tech 4 planet. It's got all kinds of stuff.
It's a dodgy place.
There is one thing they don't have though.
What's that?
Grav tank.
I'll give it a rest.
No, that's not how it works, Tim. I have good headphones. I
That
have.
will be one of my.
Hire a grab tank for this dungeon.
That will be one of my long-term goals. Get a grav tank.
You can hire one. Like, I'm sure there's someone allows you to hire weaponry on planet for a hostile planet like this.
It's a tech level 5 piece of equipment though. So
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then no.
It's the only reason that Elftus has it.
This is why it's a long-term goal. It is something I will achieve probably on the day we finish playing this campaign.
Last thing that happens is Lockie buys a grab tank.
That's in your retirement fund.
I vote we just break Elftus apart and take all its minerals and goodies.
Yeah,
I believe someone in this party would have problems with this.
yes.
So that's what space ejection's for.
No, it's not me. I don't have problems.
You can't avoid. Yeah, no, but you can't complain if you're sucked into the great expanse.
So are we all good to raid?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay. Well then, we will wish you all fare thee well, and hope to see you again next week.
Bye, everybody.
Toodaloo! Have a good night, everyone.
We're raiding games, Thomas, yeah?
Yeah.
Raid!
Starting in like 5 seconds.
It's a snack.
Raid!
It's a simple snack.
What the heck do you have a snack for?
It's plastic.
It's a snack.